So good afternoon, everybody. Here we are at the Argentine Polo Field in Palermo for the much-awaited contest of the year, the Final de Palermo, the final of the Argentine Open, to decide the best team in the world, the most important fixture in the world, the final of the Open. My name is Andrés Ugarte. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this amazing stage. The final of the Open, where we see Polito Pieres, Poroto already taking on the field with the first ticking and bowlings before the kickoff of the game, which will be taken in around half an hour time, of course, followed by the national anthem from Argentina, Uruguay, South Africa, while we take a look there at the corner of La Natividad, title holders La Natividad, ready to defend the title again against La Dolfina. The same final as in 2021. Last year it was a win to La Natividad. For Polito, for Barto, for Camilo, and for Nachi, it was their first title ever in Palermo. And now, of course, they are looking for the second one with a very, very special occasion ahead. Poroto will be seeking for his first title ever in Palermo. With only 17 years old, he will be fighting while we see our colleague and friend Tucán Pereira having a word with Russo. So as soon as the players start to take on the field, we'll be back from Palermo with the kickoff of the final of the Argentine Open. Ya te saqué a vos también. So here we are back in Palermo, ready to enter the final of the Open. Taking a look at the clubs who won the Open in most occasions. Coronel Suarez on top of everybody. 25 titles in Palermo, hurling and 15. La Dolfina 14. Therefore, if La Dolfina wins today, will reach the second position as a club who is second in the standings of greatest winners ever. Patán Nigul and Polito Pieres there with the last adjustments before taking on the field. Also Pepe with some words to Polito. Nacho Duplessis, and look, Tucán here with Miguel Novillo, winner of the Open back in 2003, runner-up in 2006. Some stats in the head-to-head. In Palermo, La Natividad and La Dolfina, fulls committed, 48. La Natividad, 28. La Dolfina, 43 fulls received by La Natividad, 40 by La Dolfina. Assist, 30 by La Natividad, 18 by La Dolfina. Penalties, 30 out of 39 by La Natividad, 22 out of 25. Poroto is the usual penalty taker in La Dolfina. Camilo Castañola, the one for La Natividad, the two youngest players in the field today. Shots at goal, 41 out of 86 by La Natividad, 26 out of 87. Look, what a difference in the accuracy. Total goals scored so far in this Argentine Open, 78 by La Natividad, 63 by La Dolfina. More numbers while we get ready for the final of the Open. The Argentinian flag waving on a moment also that is watching Argentina playing in the Football World Cup. That will be tomorrow, 4 p.m. local time in Argentina, and that's why the final was moved from Saturday to Friday. This is why we're hosting this Argentine Open final on a Friday. I cannot recall the last time that happened. Look, amazing view. And of course, Tucán with Iván de Pineda. Iván is a TV host here in Argentina. And usually he conducts a lot of auctions, right? In Argentina, in many polo events. He's very related to the sports, also boyfriend to the sister of Martín Barrantes. And as you might see there, the people taking on their seats to enjoy the great polo show in the world, the final of the Argentine Open. 8 jackers will be played. Again, it's a pleasure for us in AAP Live to be taking the best polo in the world to every single part around the world. And of course, on behalf of the AAP, the Association of Argentine Polo, we thank you all. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to say hi to all the people who is starting to tune us from around the globe. Today, international players will be taking on the field, of course. Pelon Sterling on one side, playing for La Dolfina since 2010. From Uruguay, and on the other hand, from South Africa, for a second year in a row, playing the final, Nachi Duplessis. While now, the players are taking on the field for the final of the 129th Argentine Open. La Dolfina on blue, La Natividad on green. There we are with Camilo Castañola. His profile, 19 years old, 10 goals, playing the Open since 2019. This is his fourth time playing in the greatest tournament in the world. 48 goals in this Argentine Open. Top scorer of Palermo so far. He's followed by his cousin, the youngest player today in the field, Poroto, 17 years old. 42 goals for Poroto. There, the salutations, of course, among the players. Poroto, 17 years old, just turned 17 last week, 9 goals. What do you reckon about his handicap in a week time, more or less? Played the Open for the first time last year, so this is his second time, and 42 goals so far in this opportunity in Palermo. On his first year playing for La Dolfina's main team, Poroto Cambiaso, 17 years old, winner of the Gold Cup for the British Open in 2020, playing for Next Generation, winner of the US Open and USPA Gold Cup in the US last year, runner-up for the Queen's Cup, winner of the Hurlingham Open for Camilo Castañola, on the other hand, winner of the Queen's Cup in 2020, winner of the Gold Cup in 2019, both times, no, sorry, in 2019 for Dubai, in 2020 for Great Oaks Le Leon, winner of Hurlingham and Palermo last year, winner in Tortugas in 2022, and here he is again, Polito and Poroto. With the salutations there. And now, the national anthem of Argentina. A very emotional version of the Argentina national anthem sung by Soledad Pastorutti, a popular singer here in Argentina, a folk singer, owner of a powerful voice. And now, little by little, we're starting to get ready for the final of the Argentine Open, La Natividad, La Dolfina, for a second year in a row. And now the moment of the national anthem of South Africa. The national anthem of South Africa, and now the moment to listen to the national anthem of Uruguay.
Muchas gracias. A continuación vamos a presentar
The national anthem of Uruguay, closing a very emotional triple national anthem: Argentina, South Africa, and Uruguay. And now the moment to introduce the player to the stands. The stars of the game for La Dolfina, number 1 evergreen, Adolfo Cambiaso, 10 goals, number 2 from Uruguay, with a lot of support from his country, David Sterling, 10 goals, number 3.
Las alineaciones de los equipos son presentadas por RAM, la potencia del liderazgo.
There we are, Adolfo, 10 goals, number 2, Pelon, 10, number 3, Poroto Cambiaso, 9 goals, but I think this is going to be his last game playing with 9 goals. And number 4, Juan Martín Nero, 10, 39, all together for La Dolfina. And now the moment, there we are with the La Natividad's lineup. Camilo, Castañola, Polito, Barto, and Nachi, 39 goals. All together for La Natividad. They were with Pepe. Also the moment for the throw-in. The opening throw-in by Soledad Pastoruti, the singer of the national anthem, also joined by Leo Ponzio, Gaby Sabatini. There we were. Delfina Uranga there, joined by Leo Ponzio, football star, Gaby Sabatini, former tennis player for Argentina, Soledad Pastoruti, Carlos Menéndez Betti, vice president of the AAP, and everything is getting set for the contest, for the most important polo contest in the world, for La Natividad and La Dolfina, ready to take on field number 1 for the much-awaited polo match in the world, the most important fixture all year round, all around the world. And now La Dolfina, of course, there we are, entering their corner again, following the official presentation, and now the moment to get on top of their picked horses for the beginning of the game. Top scorers, Camilo Castañola on top of the list, 48, followed by Poroto, 42. They won't be reached by any other player, so another derby between these two, between the cousins, between the two youngest players in the field today. Camilo, 19, Poroto, 17, cousins. They also be playing for the top scorer of the Argentine Open, but for sure what they really want is to raise the trophy. And now the moment also to see the escorts leaving the field. There we are, entering field number 1. Everything getting set. The last talkings before entering the contest. Adolfo getting ready to get on his horse. In a few moments we'll be announcing the horses picked by the players for the first minutes, for the opening minutes of the game of the final of the Argentine Open. Here we are live on AAP Live worldwide with La Dolfina and La Natividad. Adolfo playing his final number 26 in 30 participations. 26 times Adolfo Cambiaso reached the final of the Open. And the horses for La Natividad Open Callaway, one of Camilo's top ones, Anaïsu Blondi, Don Hércole Naranja and Van Crystal for La Natividad. I was checking La Dolfina's horses. Adolfo is on Delme, Tequila, Pelón, Irenita Arinosa, his favorite one. There we are. Poroto on La Viña Clandestina. And Juan Martín Nero on Dolfina Get Lucky. The horses and now for sure everything getting set. Pelón Sterling, what a year he had. Unfortunately we have him back in the field following a couple of injuries and also a surgery he went through this year. Halfway through the year he came back from England to receive surgery here in Argentina. And there he is The foreigner who won the Argentine Open in most occasions, a total of 9 titles. Look, the two international players mocking at each other before the start. Martín Pascual, one of the officials today, joined by Gastón Lucero. And the third man, there we are. Gastón Lucero now on screen, joined by there we are listening to the officials. We'll only be speaking to the captains. You will be responsible for your teammates. We're going to be communicating the calls, but we're not going to be discussing them. Good luck to all of you.
Arranquemos bien, suave, sin golpearse, por favor. Pará.
So again, everything is getting set for the kickoff, and here we are entering the final of the Argentine Open. La Dolfina and La Natividad playing for the most important title in the world. Last year, the final was won by La Natividad. This year, La Dolfina with a chance of a rematch.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Quién lo ardió? Se le acaba de arrancar una herradura, una pata, la lleva del uno.
Well, it's interesting what just happened. I just listened to the officials. Is that Camilo Castagnola's horse, Open Callaway, lost a horseshoe. So he needs to go to his pony line. So for sure, he will start on another one, while Open Callaway gets a new horseshoe. Here comes Lolo with his traditional vest. He hasn't removed it during the season. They just called the farrier, of course, because they need to put on the horseshoe again on Open Callaway, which, as a matter of fact, is the best one by Camilo Castagnola, his top horse.
Estamos esperando a ver qué pasa. No, no va a esperar la lluvia, ¿no? No, que cambie de caballo, pero no vamos a esperar que le ponga rodado. Sí, que suba. Estamos esperando para un cambio. Ahí está. Hola, Carlos. Todo bien, vamos. Vamos de nuevo, suave, sin golpearse.
And now, for sure, everything is set and the game is underway. We're here live on AAP Live with the final of the Argentine Open. Natividad du Plessis with the open back shot stopped in the way, and now Poroto leading the attack, linking with Pelon Sterling. Here comes Pelon with the long approach, looking for Poroto again, but covering the field. It's going to be Natividad du Plessis, and the ball goes over the back line, and La Natividad will be resuming from the back. I cannot imagine how many South Africans are now tuning the transmission to follow his prodigal son, Natividad du Plessis, who is for a second year in a row playing in the final of the Open. So a great shout out to all of them. Adolfo. Nice pick up by Adolfo Cambiaso. Open to the left-hand side. From the boards to the center. The marking again by Nachi. Another approach by Adolfo. And again, the ball goes over the back line. And La Natividad will be resuming from the back. Lolo always says, Lolo Castañola, that the only thing he misses from playing polo are the semifinals and the final of the Open. So for sure, this must have been a very, very special week for him. He's such a character, definitely. Poroto now. Poroto Cambiaso, open to the left-hand side. Here comes La Dolfina, top scorer. Another approach. Poroto, chased by Camilo. Nice breakaway by Poroto Cambiaso. The marking by Barto Castañola. And now Camilo trying to pick it over the marking by Pelon. And now again Barto Castañola. Close to him was Polito Pérez, and here comes Barto, which, from my point of view, is going to be the key of the game. If Barto has a good afternoon, La Natividad has great chances of winning. Otherwise, well, maybe for La Dolfina, it's a great opportunity. Pelon leaving it for Juan Martinero, again playing in the final after having missed the championship game last year. Pelon again from the boards to the center. Nice breakaway by the Uruguayan, and the ball stays in behind very quickly. Polito. Pablo Pérez, La Natividad's captain, was on top of it. Polito to the left-hand side to link with Barto Castañola. Here comes Barto. Challenge there by Pelon. Barto taking his time, leaving it for his brother. Here comes Camilo on his first intervention in the game. Camilo Castañola with the ball passing by, trying to be stopped by Pelon Sterling. Nice approach by Pelon, now on the near side to the open side. And here he comes to take it all the way to the other end. Also coming from behind was Poroto. But still Pelon manages to remain with the ball. And here comes David Sterling. Open to the right-hand side. Now Poroto Cambiaso leading the attack from the boards to the center. The approach there to link with his father. Here comes Adolfo Cambiaso, the marking by Camilo. And here comes Adolfo Cambiaso hitting at goal, looking for the first one today. And the ball goes wide to the left-hand side. And La Natividad will be resuming from the back. Third attempt today. In favor of La Dolfina, but still goalless game here in Palermo. Pelon now getting there first. A lot of pressure by La Dolfina in this beginning. Nero, nice pickup by Juan Martin. And here he comes from Tranquilauken to the wall. Juan Martin Nero with the under the neck approach, looking for Poroto, who was coming from behind. But again, the ball goes over the back line. And La Natividad, once again, for the fourth time today, will be resuming from the back. Now again, Barto Castañola trying to set the counter-attack. Barto again, nice marking by Juan Martin Nero, very quickly on top of him, the winner of the Queen's Cup early this year, Juan Martin. The marking by Barto, following the ball. Nice approach by La Natividad's number 3, who ended up taking the back shot on the near side. A good pressure by La Dolfina. Here comes Pelon. David Sterling from the balls to the center, the under the neck approach. The marking by Camilo Castañola. When we listen to the first whistle today, and La Dolfina is looking good on this one.
¿Te parece más para 30 por la ubicación? Vamos con 30. Vale, vamos con 30. 30 llamas azul. El 1 verde, ¿no? Sí.
And there, after having listened to the officials, they were speaking about whether it was for a 40 or a 30. But due to the position and the fouling, they are taking this to a 30-yard, and La Dolfina with the chance of opening the score here today. And here comes Poroto Cambiaso to score a goal in the final of the Open for the first time ever. And Poroto Cambiaso is giving the lead to La Dolfina. To make it 1-0 in this beginning of the game. Poroto Cambiaso. 1-0 to La Dolfina. Now back to the center to resume the play. Polito Pérez. There was a good marking there by Poroto. And now Pablo Pérez. Now marking by Juanma to change the angle. Poroto. And now Adolfo with an assist, dueling with his brother. But there was a whistle. And they are already giving a sign that he was running freely forward. And I think there's going to be another penalty too in favor of La Dolfina to extend the lead. But look, Polito here, the marking by his brother-in-law, Juan Martín, then Barto, and the foul call against Nachi Duplessis. Look, all good here. But as soon as the play turns, look here, Nachi crossing over the line, and now Poroto to extend the lead for La Dolfina. Poroto cambiazo, and 2-0. Poroto by 2. 4 goals away of Camilo.
Uno, 22, 23, 24, a la lucha.
Poroto very quickly picking the ball in the lineup. A great start by La Dolfina. And here comes Poroto, chased by Nachi Duplessis. Nice marking by the South African, who will get on top of the ball firstly. And now again, Poroto open to the left-hand side. The approach at goal by Poroto Cambiaso to put also some pressure on Nachi. But the ball goes over the back line. And it's going to be in favor of La Natividad. Sorry. Dachi. Now Camilo Castañola. Adolfo Cambiaso with the pick up open to the left-hand side. And here comes Adolfo to score his first one today. Adolfo on another approach to extend the lead for La Dolfina. The marking and the saving at the very last minute by Pablo Pérez. And now Barto to the other end. Here comes Barto Castañola linking with Polito. So the saving was by Camilo Castañola. When we listen to the first bell, nice link in between number 2 and number 1. And here comes Camilo leading the last attack of Chaka number 1. Deflected by Juan Martín, who's gonna get there first. The back shot there on the near side, and now Pelon Sterling with the under the neck approach. 10 seconds remaining here. Barto bringing the ball back in, and now Juan Martín. Nero. Nachi with the pickup, the marking by Adolfo, the ball going over the boards, and that will end the Chaka. Following 2 penalties from 30 yards scored by this guy, by Poroto Cambiaso. La Dolfina Saudi is on the lead here. 2-0 over La Natividad. And after a break, we'll be back from Palermo with Chaka number 2. So we're back in Palermo, ready to enter checker number 2. Camilo on week 4, Santa Ana, Polito, Monkey Puzzle, Barto, Latia, Ramona, Nacho Duplessis, on Chalo Tigresa. Now the moment to go through the horses picked by La Dolfina. For the second checker, Adolfo, Dolfina, Roxy, Pelón, Machitos, Cheyenne, Poroto, Dolfina, Lucky Charm, Juan Martín Nero, JM, Rumba. And now checker number 2 underway with Juan Martín Nero. And the knocking with the approach, open to the right hand side. Here comes Adolfo, who's playing a little bit more forward in this beginning of the game in comparison to previous matches. Adolfo. And now Juan Martín Nero, the under the neck approach and the marking by Pablo Pieres, who ended up taking a good back shot to take the danger away. Now Barto, also Adolfo, coming from a different angle, and the whistle. We'll see.
100%, si no está, igual está con el compañero.
Y viene en disputa con un azul. Vamos para adelante, vamos.
Here we are, we're gonna check again the replay.
Estamos, sí.
The marking here by Polito, and then we're gonna see, I think, Barto and Pelón contesting for the ball each other, and then Adolfo entering from a different angle, and now it's gonna be a penalty in favor of La Natividad. 60 yards in favor of La Natividad. Those were the words by Gastón Lucero, one of the officials today, and Camilo Castañola with the chance of closing the gap after a very, very strong start by La Dolfina. We're not gonna be arguing about our decisions. Those were the words by the umpire, as they said at the beginning and just before the kickoff. They're gonna be communicating them only. And here comes Camilo from 60 yards, penalty 4. To close the gap, Camilo Castañola. The ball goes wide to the right-hand side, and these are good news for La Dolfina. And also, it's not usual to see Camilo missing, but it happens, and they were just checking if everything was okay. And now Juan Martín Nero resuming from the back for La Dolfina. And now to the left-hand side, and Barto Castañola will get there first. Covering the field, following a good marking by Pelón Sterling. And the marking there, the pressure, and here comes Adolfo with the breakaway to extend the lead in favor of La Dolfina. Here comes Adolfo entering the danger zone. The ball stays in behind, and very quickly his nephew Camilo taking the danger away. Here he comes with La Natividad, trying to take it all the way from the other end to the other end. The marking there by Pelón, a fierce marking by the Uruguayan Onjeta, and now Barto Castañola. Barto. And now Adolfo, the ball again by Barto Castañola. Here he comes against his godfather Adolfo. Barto Castañola leading the attack, open to the right-hand side, hitting at goal. Nice approach by Barto Castañola, looking for Polito Pieres, who's gonna try to take the last approach. The back shot there, and the ball goes over the back line. And again, La Dolfina will be resuming from the back. Nice play by Barto Castañola. Still, he couldn't score. And now Juan Martín Nero to the right-hand side. Those were the words by Adolfo. But here comes Poroto on the left-hand side. And here he comes, ready to send Pelón. Sterling in attack. Nice assist by Poroto, dueling with Uruguay. And here comes Pelón to score. And the ball goes wide to the right-hand side. And still, it remains on 2-0 for La Dolfina. Some changings also halfway through the checker. Open Callaway for Camilo, which was the one that They needed to put on the horseshoe again before the kickoff of the game. Nacho Duplessis, now from the back, looking for Camilo Castagnola. Here he is, challenged by Pelon Sterling, followed by Barto. Camilo, a very good marking by Adolfo, who was very quickly on top of him, and now the bonding with Pelon. Here comes David Sterling, stopped by Barto. Nice defending action by Barto Castagnola, and here he comes, leading the attack for the men in green. The ball stays in behind. Barto Castagnola again. Nice turning by La Natividad's number 3. Taking his time, and now to the left-hand side to link with Camilo. Camilo taking his time and waiting for his teammates. Looking for Nacho Duplessis. Nice. Stopping there by Juanma. Juan Martin. Nice. Juanma with the approach. Stopped in the way by Nacho Duplessis. And on the second attempt, here he comes, sending Poroto Cambiaso in attack. Here comes Poroto, taking his time over the marking by Camilo Castagnola. Poroto Cambiaso, the marking from behind by Pablo Pérez. And now Nachi Duplessis taking his time. Nachi, the approach, changing a little bit the angle. And now again the pressure by Pelon Sterling, sending Adolfo in attack. The marking by Nacho Duplessis. Here comes Poroto to extend the lead. Poroto Cambiaso scoring to extend for La Dolfina. 3-0. All 3 goals by La Dolfina by the same guy, Poroto Cambiaso. Here again, look. Nice marking, nice hooking by Adolfo. And on the first attempt, Poroto, who is definitely playing with 9 goals for the last time.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Poroto coming from behind Barto Castagnola. Another approach covering the field is going to be Barto. Also Adolfo reaching out for it. The open back shot, and now Poroto taking his time, coming from behind. Was Nacho Duplessis. Poroto Cambiaso, the scorer today. All 3 goals by La Dolfina have been scored by Poroto. And now Pablo Pérez coming from behind. Camilo Castagnola. Here he comes, La Natividad. This is something weird. They haven't scored yet in the whole game. And we're reaching the end of checker number 2, Adolfo. Adolfo on the near side, taking care of the ball. The marking by Camilo Castagnola. Nice pick up by Hita. And here he comes from one side to the other, taking to see where Barto was, but very quickly Adolfo. Adolfo now, Poroto with the under the neck approach, looking for Juan Martin Nero. Covering the field was Pablo Pérez. The open back shot by Polito. Looking again for Nacho Duplessis. The marking by Adolfo, bringing the ball back in. And now Juan Martin Nero. 45 seconds remaining in this second checker. Adolfo Cambiaso, stopped and deflected by Barto Castagnola. Here he comes, Barto from board to board, trying to set one more. Whoa, he lost his cigar. Look, what a back shot there with the whip. And now Nacho Duplessis trying to take the opportunity on this one. The approach there, putting some pressure on Poroto Cambiaso. I think that Barto is going to change the mallet before the end of the checker. Poroto with the back shot, and now Camilo Castagnola picking it up to close the gap just before the end of the checker. Camilo Castagnola scoring the first one today for La Natividad. When we listen to the final bell here, what a play by Barto Castagnola. He lost the cigar, but still he manages to take an amazing back shot with the cane. And then look, the pressure over Poroto, couldn't take the back shot, and Camilo Castagnola very quickly on top of it, doing what he really knows, scoring goals. So therefore, checker number 1 comes to an end here in Palermo, while we take a look again at what just happened with Camilo, top scorer of the Open, reaching a total of 49 just before the end of checker number 2. So in a few moments, after a short break, we'll be back from Palermo with checker number 2. Little by little, we're coming back to Palermo, taking a look at what's going on at the Dorrego stands with all of the Uruguayan fans, of course, as usual, following every step taken by Pelon Sterling in this tournament. Adolfo also back in the saddle to enter checker number 3, 3-1 to La Dolfina in the beginning of the game. Entering checker number 3. Here we are live on AP Live Worldwide with the final of the Argentine Open. Galaxy, Dylan Chaqueta, Lovelock's Drogba, Chalo La Lollipop, picked by La Natividad for the beginning of check number 3. Let's see if they can take advantage of that last-minute goal scored by Camilo. While on the other side, Adolfo is on Cuartetera Clone 06, Pelón, Sol de Agosto, Caramelo, Poroto, Dolfina, Cuartetera Clone 01, Juan Martín, Anaí, Sur, Bandry. Here we are, 3-1 to La Dolfina. And now back to the center to resume the play. Barto Castañola with the under the neck approach, looking for Polito Pires, who was open to the right-hand side. Challenge there by Poroto Cambiaso. Here comes Polito Pires, leaving it for Camilo, coming from behind, also Adolfo. And now Barto Castañola leading the team in the playmaking. Here he comes. The approach, the marking by Poroto, fierce marking by his cousin, and now Adolfo picking it up for La Dolfina, stopped in the way by Camilo. And now again Adolfo, challenge now by Pablo Pieres. Adolfo Cambiaso with the approach, the ball passing by. And there first is going to be Camilo Castañola, challenge by Juan Martín. Here comes Juan Martín Nero entering the danger zone to extend the lead for La Dolfina. Juan Martín Nero with his first one today to make it 4-1. To the men in blue here, the ball passing by. Let's see what happened here. Actually, Camilo trying to take it, and Juanma had the ball on the open side. And then he finds the net. 4-1. First one today for Juanma. Barto Castañola with the approach, looking for Polito, who was open to the left-hand side, then marking by Adolfo. And here he comes. Actually, it's Poroto who was waiting for the ball. Adolfo again. And now Poroto over the midfield line. And a new attack for La Dolfina. Poroto Cambiaso leading the attack, putting some pressure on Nacho Duplessis. Nice open back action there by the South African. And now to the other end with Pablo Pieres. Here comes Polito, trying to set the attacking opportunity for La Natividad. Nice tap in there to link with Camilo. Here comes Camilo Castañola, open to the left. Marking him was Pelon Sterling. Now on the near side to the open side. The marking by Pelon, coming from behind was Adolfo taking the danger away. But there was a whistle when also Polito Pieres was getting closer to hit that goal.
Había distancia, señor, gracias. Ya está, basta, se acabó. Por favor, listo, ya está.
Sí, pero no
ya le explicamos, listo, sin discutir. Vamos.
The play here by Camilo Castañola, the ball staying behind. The marking by Adolfo, crossing over a little bit on Polito's line. So a penalty too in favor of La Natividad, with the chance of closing the gap. Here, Camilo Castañola from 30 yards. Camilo Castañola hitting and scoring to close the gap here for La Natividad. First penalty today scored by Camilo, who had an attempt from 60 yards. He couldn't score it, and now Camilo reaches 50 goals in this Argentine Open on top of the standings, followed by Poroto with 45. But the most important thing here, La Dolfina 4, La Natividad 2. Polito Pieres looking to take that open back shot, and on the turning Juan Martín. Nice tapping by Juan Martín. who is also having a very good performance in the beginning of the game. Juan Martin, another approach there to link with Poroto. Here comes Poroto, trying to pick it up. The marking by Polito Pieres, but still Poroto, look what he just did. Here comes Poroto, an amazing individual action by Poroto Cambiaso to extend the lead for La Dolfina, taking it all the way. Poroto Cambiaso scoring. Amazing individual action by Poroto Cambiaso to make it 5-2, but wow. Look what Poroto did at the beginning of the play. It was actually amazing. And now it's 5-2. Look, he took his time. He doesn't care if he's playing the final of the Open or practicing cañuelas. And Poroto extending the lead, 5-2. Coming from behind, Camilo. And now Adolfo Cambiaso with another approach. The marking by Pablo Pieres. The back shot on the near side, and now Nachi Duplessis trying to give some continuity there. And now head-to-head, Camilo and Poroto. Barto Castagnola, nice pickup by La Natividad's number 3. A little bit open to the right-hand side. The under the neck approach by Barto Castagnola, looking for the net. Camilo Castagnola closing the gap and scoring for the first time today. And what a moment for them to score. And in such a way, Barto Castagnola showing why he's also playing off 10 goals every single day. What an under the neck approach. And very quickly, the flagman said that the ball went in. Look. Wow. How skillful you must be to do that, eh? And now still Pelon. What a game of polo we're watching here. Barto Castagnola. He, I insist, from my point of view, is the key of this game. Barto. The marking by Adolfo, and now Barto changing the angle, linking with Polito Pieres. The marking by Poroto coming from behind. Keita Castagnola, a whistle. And let's see. And now La Natividad with a new attempt. For the yards. We were just discussing, one official and the other one, analyzing the play. Here we're going to see it again. Barto Castagnola changing the angle here. There. This is what they ended up calling, that Poroto never cleared away from the action, and he ended up committing a foul on Camilo, and it's going to be from 40 yards. The first attempt from 40 yards today in favor of La Natividad with a chance of closing the gap. Here comes Camilo to take it, looking for his third goal today. Camilo Castagnola sending the ball in to close the gap, and now it's a 1-goal lead for La Dolfina following a new one by Camilo. 3 goals today, only 1 goal behind Poroto in terms of goals scored today. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the checker. The approach there by Camilo, looking for Polito Pieres. Here comes Polito to find the equalizer. Polito Pieres, the under the neck approach. He stays a little bit short, and now Adolfo taking the danger away, playing towards the boards. Chased by Nachi Duplessis, and here comes Juan Martin. Nero with another approach, chased by Barto Castagnola. He has really fresh legs to take it all the way. The approach there by Juan Martin. Nero. Juan Martin Nero from Trenquelauquen again, extending the lead for La Dolfina. What a run by Juan Martin. I don't know what. Matsu. The horse ridden by Juanma in this play. He made such an impact on this one. Amazing approach. And on the following attempt, he finds his second goal today. Poroto. 6-4 to la Dolfina. When we're about to enter the last moments of jacket number 3. Camilo already playing on the first bell. Camilo again on the second attempt. And here he comes. Ready to set a counter-attacking opportunity. 15 seconds remaining. Jacket number 3. Camilo Castañola. Chased by Poroto. Also challenged by Pelon Sterling. Still Geta. Geta to take it all the way. Still Camilo leaving it for his brother. Here comes Barto Castañola. He needs to hit at goal. Barto Castañola. And Barto Castañola. The clock was on his side, so we need to see whether the ball went in or out. I think they're gonna be checking that one because it looked as if Barto took a hit at goal, but now they're placing the ball open to the right-hand side. So it's gonna be end of checker. Still, they're gonna take a look at what just happened. Let's see. Barto Castañola here, open to the left-hand side, hitting on the 29. Some doubts there. Well, we'll see what happens. So, for sure, this will end checker number 3 here in Palermo. 6 to la Dolfina, 4 to la Natividad. In a few moments, we'll be back with checker number 4.
No, el que tiré que me pidió era 25. No, 5. No te preocupes, lo estaba mirando. El que no llegó Juanma o Pelón, eran 25. Te aseguro que sí.
Back in Palermo, ready to enter checker number 4. There we listen to the officials saying to the players, we checked it. The ball went wide. It's going to be a knock in favor of La Dolfina. While we take a look also to the horses picked by the players. Juanma. To the left-hand side, and now Poroto riding Leonor, which was the best playing pony of the final of the Jockey Club Open. And now Pelon Sterling coming from behind. Camilo again crossing over the line was Poroto, Cambiaso, and the whistle. And I think it's going to be from the spot in favor of La Natividad. A very clear foul, at least from this angle. So 6-4 to La Dolfina before reaching the halftime here in Palermo. Here we're going to see it again. Nachi with the open back shot.
Vamos, Formel.
Nachi Duplessis to the left-hand side, looking for Camilo, who was coming from behind. The ball passing by, and now Pablo Pérez. The marking by Juan Martín. And now Adolfo with the back shot, looking for Juanma again, who scored twice today. Parto. And now Porto cambiazo. No, Adolfo. Adolfo with the under the neck approach. Nice action by Adolfo Cambiaso, who ended up taking a very good individual action, and here he comes with his sticking skills, linking for Juan Martin. Juan Martin entering the dangers on the marking by Nachi du Plessis to take the danger away. What a back shot there by the South African Nachi du Plessis, and now Camilo. He's gonna take his time, actually, to wait for his teammates. Leaving it for Barto Castagnola. Open to the right-hand side already. Nachi du Plessis asking for the passing, coming on the inside, and here comes Barto again. Chased by Juan Martin, and now Nachi du Plessis hitting at goal. Nachi du Plessis, and the ball goes wide to the left-hand side, and La Dolfina will be resuming from the back. Nice back shot there by Nachi, and he almost finished the play scoring on the other end. Adolfo. Now definitely Adolfo playing more as a number 3 and number 4, bonding really well with Juanma. And now the marking by Camilo Castagnola. Juan Martin not feeling comfortable La Natividad all today yet. Nachi and La Dolfina playing their game definitely. Pelon Sterling linking with Juan Martin. Nice action, and here he comes. Juan Martin over the midfield line. The ball was a little bit open to the right-hand side, but still he's in possession of the ball, the under the neck approach. And now Nachi du Plessis is gonna get there first. The open back shot by Nachi du Plessis again, closing the play. And now Juan Martin coming from behind was Polito. Nice turning by Juanma. Still the marking by Polito persists, and the whistle. Foul call against 2 blue. He has nothing to do with the play. Those were the words by the official. Here we're going to see it again. Juanma. There, the foul call against Nachi. Pelon. Nachi du Plessis now. The penalty from the spot in favor of La Natividad halfway through the fourth. And La Natividad is 2 goals behind against La Dolfina. The marking by Juan Martin, who is definitely in great form today. The marking by Nachi du Plessis, and now Barto Castagnola changing the angle to link with Pablo Pires. Here comes Polito, La Natividad's captain. The approach there, looking for Barto, but he couldn't take it properly. And now Barto again on the near side, ready to set another attacking opportunity, but there was a very good marking by Juan Martin. And now Polito linking with Nachi du Plessis. Coming from behind was Poroto. And now Adolfo Cambiaso. There was Adolfo running out of cigar. He's gonna need a new mallet definitely, but still Barto Castagnola picking it up, and here he comes from the boards to the center, looking for a new one. Too close again, Barto Castagnola deflected by Juan Martin. Amazing defense again by La Dolfina's number 4, and now Pelon Sterling. Pelon taking care of the ball, definitely as much time as he needs. Looking for Juan Martin, and now head to head. Juan Martin and Nachi du Plessis. Great pickup by Juan Martin on the near side to take it all the way to the open side, into the penalties area. Juan Martin to score again today. Juan Martin Juan Martin playing as he really knows how to play. Juan Martin to extend the lead for La Dolfina on JM Uppsala. The horse by Juanma. Look. Wow. What a performance today by Juan Martin one of the best in the field, definitely. 7-4 to La Dolfina with an amazing Juan Martin definitely. In defense, in attack, 3 goals today by Juan Martin. And now Camilo Castagnola, his team needs him. Camilo with the approach, looking for Barto Castagnola, open to the left-hand side. Here comes Barto, head to head against Pelon Sterling, who is covering the field. And a great action there by David Sterling. The ball going over the back line. La Dolfina will be resuming from the back. What a way to defend by La Dolfina actually today. Juanma to the left-hand side, and here comes Adolfo. Camilo with the back shot, looking for Nacho Duplessis coming from behind very quickly. Adolfo Cambiason, and now it's all La Dolfina, definitely. Adolfo again, open to the left-hand side, taking his time maybe to hit that goal. Adolfo Cambiaso, the open shot, and the ball goes wide to the left, and La Natividad will be resuming from the back. Here again, Juan Martín. What a performance today by Nero. Definitely in great form. And now Nachi looking for Polito. An unfortunate bounce there. It goes over the boards, and it's going to be in favor of La Dolfina. And here he comes, Juan Martín Nero. Leaving it for Adolfo. Adolfo Cambiaso with the ball passing by, stopped in the way by Nacho Duplessis, and here comes Juanma. La Natividad's worst nightmare today. Juan Martín Nero to score again, and definitely the MVP of the first half is called Juan Martín Nero, who finds the net for the fourth time today. Here, look how quickly he's been today, how well he got ready for this final after having missed last year's final. Juan Nero is having one of his greatest performances ever, definitely, in this game. 4 goals today, and plus amazing performance in defense, in attack, in the midfield, in the playmaking, everything. Juan Martín scoring again to extend the lead just before the end of the first half. So following that last goal by Juan Martín Nero, La Dolfina 8, La Natividad 4. In a few moments, we'll be back from Palermo with the second half.
La jugada del partido es presentada por RAM, la potencia del liderazgo.
So some numbers of the first half here at the halftime. 6 throw-ins apiece. Fulls committed, 5 by la Dolfina, 2 by la Natividad. Penalties, 2 out of 3 by la Natividad. Camilo missed a 60, 2 out of 2 scored by Poroto, no safeties yet. Shots at goal, 2 out of 6 and 6 out of 13. Wow, what a first half by la Dolfina, also 1 assist. 8-4 at the end of the first half in favor of la Dolfina over la Natividad in the final of the Argentine Open, while there is an exhibition of adapted polo. Here at field number 1, the checker by checker, look, amazing third checker, huh? 2-0, 1-all, 3-all, and 2-0 for la Dolfina in the fourth, following 2 goals by Juan Martín Nero, the absolute MVP of the first half, definitely here. I mean, la Dolfina is playing really well. The 4 players are playing really well, but what Juan Martín is doing today is definitely one of the best performances he ever had in these fields. So in a few moments, we'll be back from Palermo with the second half of the final of the Argentine Open. It would be really interesting to know what just happened inside la Natividad's corner following a first half with an advantage in favor of la Dolfina, 8-4, with Poroto looking for his first ever title in Palermo, and the horses Open Callaway and Aisu Blondie. Open easy game, Chalo La Lollipop, picked by la Natividad for the opening minutes of the second half. 4 checkers remaining, anyone's game, but la Dolfina with a very good advantage, I insist. Adolfo Antualungani Chica, Convenida, picked by Pelon Sterling, and completing the list, of course, Poroto on Dolfina, Baila Conmigo, and Juan Martinero on Matsu, a horse that had a great impact in jacket number 3. And since jacket number 4 came to an end with a goal scored by Juan Manero, jacket number 5 will be underway following a throw-in. And now everything is set here in Palermo to enter the last 4 jackers of the Argentine Open. And a great final definitely here between La Natividad and La Dolfina. A Cañuelas affair. All 8 players back in the field, so are the officials, and now it's all set. The throw-ins to be taken on this side of the field during the second half, and the game is now on. Camilo Castagnola. Camilo linking with Pablo Pérez. Here comes Polito. Challenge there by Juan Martín. Coming from behind, Camilo again. Here he comes, Camilo. Another approach on the near side to the open side, trying to lead the attack in favor of La Natividad. Riding open Callaway, his favorite one. Camilo Castagnola, the under the neck approach, looking for Pablo Pérez. A great defense there by Poroto. Cambiazo now Adolfo. Covering the field from board to board, and now Nacho Plessis, and now Pelon Sterling, who also had a great performance during the first half. Here comes Pelon, who missed a couple of matches during this Argentine Open due to an injury. Pelon Sterling with a long approach, looking for Poroto Cambiaso, who is running forward, and here he comes Poroto, head-to-head against Nacho Plessis. The marking by the South African, who ended up taking a back shot, the ball passing by. And it goes over the back line, and I think it's going to be a safety in favor of La Dolfina. There we saw Nachi with the approach. So this is going to be the first safety penalty of the game, and it's going to be in favor of La Dolfina. Adolfo to take it, actually. Still a goalless game for Adolfo, something which is not that common. He has scored 8 goals in this Argentine Open. Still he holds the record of more goals scored during an Argentine Open. That was in 1998 with 67. And now Adolfo Cambiaso with the safety. The ball passing by, and ended up going in. And La Dolfina extends the lead in the beginning of the second half, following a safety penalty by Adolfo Cambiaso. And now it's 9-4, and this is the maximum lead in the game. And La Dolfina leading by 5. Barto. And the pickup. Challenge there by Poroto Cambiaso. Still Barto. With the approach, looking for Camilo Castagnola, who was waiting for the ball up front. And now Pablo Pérez with the tapping there to assist Camilo, but the ball was deflected in the way. And now Nachi to bring it in. Barto Castagnola to lead this attack in favor of La Natividad, finding his way, entering the danger zone. Here comes Barto, another tapping to score. Barto Castagnola. He took his time, but he ended up finding the net. And now it's 9-5. Barto Castagnola with his second goal today. And now it's 9-5. Look. Nice entry there by Barto Castagnola. Taking his time, look. Chased by his godfather, Adolfo Cambiaso, but still Barto finds a new one. And now it's 9-5. Now back to the center. A whistle when Poroto...
No, señor, tenemos 25 segundos. A mí es lugar verde. ¿Lugar verde? Sí, está en offside 4 azul. ¿Sí?
Offside number 4 blue. Those are the words by the official. So it's going to be from the spot in favor of green, I think.
Es lugar verde. Perfecto.
Let's see. There. Offside to Juan Manero, who then got involved in the play. Diego Schwarzman there, Argentina, a tennis professional player from Argentina, usually following every step by La Dolfina in every single part in Argentina. Nachi Duplessis resuming the play, the approach there, looking for Barreto Castañola, who was open to the left-hand side, and now looking for Camilo. Nice marking by Juanma. And now Barreto again on the near side to the open side. And now Nero again. Adolfo coming from behind to assist Pelon, and here comes Pelon, who was asking for the ball on the inside, and here he comes looking for his first one today. Entering the penalties area, Pelon Sterling, the ball was a little bit open to the right-hand side, but very quickly Juan Martín Nero again to score. Juan Manero, the top scorer of the game, extends the lead in favor of La Dolfina. Not only they are winning every single play, but also they are winning the second play, because look, Pelon Sterling here couldn't take it properly, then Barto, and very quickly, who else? Juan Martín Nero. 5 goals today. Juan Martín, 10-5 to La Dolfina, halfway through check number 5. And now Camilo Castañola, the long passing to assist Pablo Pieres. Here comes Polito, chased by Juan Martín, leaving it for Barto Castañola, who was coming from behind, the ball stayed in behind, and now Camilo trying to correct the play. And now Adolfo Cambiaso, ready to take it all the way to the other end. Chased by Barto Castañola, Adolfo looking for Juan Martín. And now Nachi Duplessis couldn't take the back shot, and Barto Castañola picking the line, Juanma crossing over it, a whistle. And it's going to be from the spot in favor of green. 10-5.
¿Cómo? ¿Querés que lo dé? Yo te lo doy y me puedo para la tabla.
Here, Barto very quickly picking the line, and then Nero crossing over it. From the spot in favor of green. Nachi to resume the play. Nachi Duplessis with the long approach, looking for Pablo Pieres, who was standing up front. Then marking there by Camilo Castañola, but at the end, Pelon Sterling from board to board, trying to take the danger away. Camilo coming from behind, the whistle. 30 yards in favor of green, because Camilo reached the ball when Adolfo was turning, and he ended up committing a foul. It was really interesting today here in Palermo to bump into so many people who you only get to see once or twice in the year, you know. People from England, from Pakistan, from the US, from Australia, from everywhere in the world, following the Argentine Open. The final, and now Camilo Castañola from 30 yards, sending the ball in to close the gap. Camilo with his goal number 4 today. Also, yesterday, Mr. Piero Dillier was elected as the new president of the FIP, the Federation of International Polo. So a great shout out to him and to all the people who made it possible for Piero Dillier to be the new president of the FIP. From Switzerland, Piero. Poroto trying to win this head-to-head against Camilo Castañola, but covering the field. It's going to be Barto. Nice back shot there on the near side, looking for Nachi Duplessis. But look how well they are turning on each single play. Pelon Sterling, and now Camilo. Camilo Castañola, one put there by Nero, and the pick up by Adolfo. Here comes Adolfo to extend the lead in favor of La Dolfina. Adolfo to Cambiaso to score again. The tapping there, and he missed it. How unfortunate was that for La Dolfina and for Adolfo. Definitely something is going on there. So let's see if La Natividad could take advantage of what just happened, which was out of this world also. Barto to the left-hand side, looking for Camilo. The marking by Pelon, nicely done by the Uruguayan. And now Nachi Duplessis, the marking by Adolfo. Gita on the near side, a good marking again. The defense today by La Dolfina has been absolutely amazing in every single part of the field. Barto picking the line, and then the ball, and here he comes. The marking by Juan Martín, absolutely flawless today. What a performance, I insist, by Nero. Pelon Sterling, and now Poroto. Nice bonding between number 2 and number 3, and here he comes. Poroto leading the attack for La Dolfina. The ball stays in behind, but very quickly, look, Pelon open to the right-hand side, try to take it all the way. The ball stays in behind again, and here comes Poroto to extend the lead for La Dolfina. The marking there, and Nachi Duplessis taking the danger away. Now Nero, challenged by Camilo Castagnola. Juan Martín, when we listen to the first bell, and here comes Poroto trying to find his way, and again a very good marking by Barto. Poroto, the ball stays in behind. Adolfo, the marking by Barto. And now again Poroto Cambiaso, challenged by Barto Castagnola. Poroto from the ball to the center, trying to score one more before the end of the checker. Nachi Duplessis trying to take it away. What Nachi Duplessis just did. Nachi. 2-1, and final bell of chaka number 5 here in Palermo. 2-all in this chaka number 5 between La Dolfina and La Natividad. Nachi Duplessis taking some risk there next to his goal. So at the end of chaka number 5, La Dolfina remains on the lead by 4, 10-6 over La Natividad. And after a break, we'll be back from Palermo with check number 6. So we're back here in Palermo, entering field number 1 from behind, from Las Cañitas. Ready to enter checker number 6 with La Natividad. 4 goals behind in the score against La Dolfina. 3 checkers remaining. Camilo is on Wick for Santa Ana. Polito, Monkey Puzzle. Barto Castagnola is on Latia Ramona. Nachi on Van Crystal. Here we are with Nachi and La Dolfina. Playing an amazing game today, definitely. With this guy, Poroto, looking for his first title ever in Palermo. On his first ever final also. 17-year-old Poroto Cambiaso, and the game is now on from the center to the boards. And now Pablo Pérez leading the attack for La Dolfina, looking for Camilo Castagnola, who was very well taken by Juanma, who is marking him as nobody ever did, I think. Here comes Nero. Cambiazo del May Tequila, Pelon, Irenita Arinosa, Poroto, Dolfina, Lucky Charm, Nero, Anaisu Brandy, the approach there and covering the field again. Barto Castagnola, the back shot, and turning. Getting there first is going to be Adolfo, challenged by his nephew, but still Adolfo prevails, and here he comes. Looking to score the first one on this checker. The approach at goal by Adolfo Cambiazo. The ball goes wide to the left-hand side, and La Natividad will be resuming from the back. Barto. And some words there by Polito on Nachi. And Nachi Duplessis resuming from the back. The approach, looking for Camilo Castagnola. The ball passing by, stopped in the way by Pelon. And now again, Barto coming from behind, and here he comes. Ready to send his team in attack. The approach to link with his brother. And now Camilo Castagnola, challenged now by Poroto Cambiaso. Camilo Castagnola with the approach, looking for Barto Castagnola. Here comes Barto, the ball stays in behind, and now Adolfo finally saving his goal. And receiving from the back, Adolfo with the approach. Coming there is going to be Camilo, the tapping there. Linking with Nachi Duplessis. Nachi with the approach, looking for Camilo, but getting there first is going to be Poroto, who picked the line before Hita. And here he comes, taking his time. Poroto Cambiaso, open to the right-hand side. The under the neck approach, looking for Pelon Sterling, but covering the field. Nachi with the open back shot towards the boards. Pelon again. And marking by Barto Castagnola. Pelon Sterling hitting that goal from an open angle. The ball passing by, starting to go a little bit open to the left-hand side, and it goes over the back line, and La Natividad will be resumed from the back. I imagine Milo Fernandez Araujo speaking to the players, to La Dolfina's players in between checkers, telling them, look, you need to keep that difference at least by the same score. Don't let them get closer today. Remain leading by 4 or even more, and this is what they are doing. Barto Castagnola, the ball stays in behind, and now Nachi Duplessis giving some continuity, looking for Camilo Castagnola, and covering again Pelon Sterling. What a performance today by Pelon. He's been always first, but now a good pressure by Camilo Castagnola. Here comes Camilo, too close a gap, the ball stays in behind. The way they are marking Hita today is awesome. Polito Pieres coming from behind was Adolfo. Polito Pieres and Barto Castagnola ready to score. And La Natividad, I don't know how, but they ended up scoring on that play. I think it was Barto. Look, fair play between the cousins. Camilo, the ball stays in behind. Look the way they are defending today, amazing. Then Polito, nice hooking, and then Barto Castagnola. (10-7). And now to the other end, and here comes Pelon Sterling looking for his first one today. Nice run, chased by Nachi Duplessis, the two international players today. Pelon Sterling on the near side, the ball passing by, and it ended up going over the back line, and it's going to be in favor of La Natividad. Pelon is changing. Adolfo with some kind of problem there. If the problem has to do with the horse, he's gonna have 30 seconds, but the ambulance enter the field. There he is, Adolfo receiving assistance. On his right arm and shoulder. There we are. The doctors also, I think it is Walter Mira there, his doctor. Maybe due to this play, I think. And that was the goal scored by Barto Castagnola on the previous play. So 10-7 to La Dolfina, 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in this chaka number 6. Still a lot to go. Adolfo ready to get back in the saddle. Having a word with the official. There, Iñaki, who used to work with Poroto, but this year Poroto was joined by Araña, one of Adolfo's historical grooms. So Iñaki is now with Adolfo, and Araña is taking care of everything that has to do with Poroto. Araña is a groom that is usually wearing a green helmet, a green hat, sorry. Juan Martín, challenged by Camilo Castagnola. The back shot stays a little bit short, and now Pablo Pieres, challenged by Pelon Sterling, and now Barto Castagnola. Now definitely leading his team in every single play, Barto. Polito, nice bonding between number 2 and number 3, and here comes Barto Castagnola, the approach. Looking for Polito Pieres, who was taken by Pelon Sterling. Still Polito, another approach, the ball stays in behind. And now it's Nero against Nacho Duplessis. Camilo, Castagnola, here comes Geta from the balls to the center, the marking by Poroto, taking his time, a foul, a whistle. And look the way he's celebrating this penalty. Camilo, how difficult it's been for La Natividad to enter La Dolfina's red zone. The defense today by La Dolfina has been absolutely awesome. There. Well, actually, I didn't get to see what happened now. But it's going to be in favor of La Dolfina. From the midfield line.
No, deja la bocha. Deja la bocha. Juego. Hay gente cambiando.
So, how far be in favor of La Dolfina?
5.
I didn't get to see and listen to what happened. Actually, I thought it was going to be a penalty in favor of La Natividad. And now Juan Martín Nero with a great approach, putting some pressure on Camilo Castagnola, who ended up taking an open back shot. And now Adolfo linking with Poroto. The ball stays in behind, and here comes Nacho Duplessis, sending the ball to Barto Castagnola. Great action again by Juan Martín. And now Polito on the near side to the open side. The back shot there, stopping the way by Pelon. And now Nacho Duplessis. The ball deflected by Pelon, but still. Here comes Nachi, the ball stays in behind. And now Adolfo. Here comes Adolfo Cambiaso, taking his time, challenged by Barto Castagnola. Also by his other nephew, Camilo. Head to head, the under the neck approach there by Adolfo. Looking for Pelon, who was open to the right hand side. And now Polito Pieres. The way Pelon is stopping every single ball today. Wow. He's been everywhere, anticipating the game in every single aspect. Nero. And now Duplessis linking with Polito. The marking there by Nero. Nice stopping, and here comes Juan Martín. Juan Martín Nero looking for the net. The ball passing by, and it goes wide to the right hand side. And La Natividad will be resuming from the back. 35 seconds remaining. Time enough for one more play, at least. Nachi Duplessis to the right hand side, looking for Polito Pieres. The ball stays a little bit short, and now Poroto trying to pick it up. Camilo at the end, and here comes Camilo, trying to send Polito in attack again, stopped by Pelon. Amazing. I don't know how is he doing, but he's stopping every single ball. He's anticipating the game so well. Nero, the marking by Camilo, a whistle. 1 second remaining only.
Tienen bajando acá, hay uno o dos jugadores azules seguro.
Sí, no sé si después estamos para... No, muchachos, por favor, estamos debatiendo. Gracias.
No,
Here
es lo que
again.
les pedimos, déjenos debatir cuando decidimos.
Barto Castagnola.
¿Te parece para 60 o es mucho eso para el handler? Si no, nos vamos a tiro con media cancha. Pepe, ¿vos tenés la jugada muy clara o no? ¿Quiénes están adelante?
They're asking Pepe. Pepe is Pepe Araya, the third man today.
Seguro es el que dio vuelta.
Pasa que yo veo que hay un verde atrás. Claro,
Había uno verde, pero había dos azules. El 2 azul también estaba.
They are discussing. Martín Pascual is saying, look, there was a green player,
Dale. Vamos con media cancha azul.
but there were also 2 blue players in attack. So at the end, they're gonna be giving out a 5B in favor of La Dolfina. 1 second remaining only in this check number 6.
Foul del número 1 verde. No, la situación está atrás. Capitán, está atrás de la media cancha. Mejoramos el tiro con media cancha.
Vamos, dale.
Forme. Juego.
So Juanma will be resuming. 10-7. When we listen to the first bell, Adolfo cambias over the marking by Camilo Castañola. Still Adolfo. Also, nice breakaway there by Adolfo Cambiaso. Now challenged by Barto Castañola coming from behind. It's Poroto Cambiaso. Poroto Cambiaso extending the lead just before the end of track number 6 and La Dolfina. Wow. What a way of keeping on the scoring, the pressure and everything. And Poroto Cambiaso with his goal number 5 today on his first final ever in Palermo. And now 11 to La Dolfina, 7 to La Natividad. After the break, we'll be back from Palermo with jacket number 7. Back in Palermo, ready to enter check number 7, La Dolfina, keeping the lead by 4, following that last-minute goal by Poroto Cambiaso. Camilo is on Galaxy, Polito, Dylan, Chaqueta, Barto, Lavlox, Drogba, Nachi, and Chalo Tigresa. 2 checkers remaining, La Dolfina leading by 4, I insist, 11-7, and again I want to take the opportunity to say hi to all the people who is tuning us from around the world. It's always great to listen to friends. Adolfo, Dolfina, Roxy, Pelón, Machitos, Cheyenne, Poroto, Lavinia, Clandestina, Juanma, Dolfina, Get Lucky. So the game to be resumed with a throw-in from the midfield line. And now the game is on. Poroto picking the ball in the lineup, over the marking by Pablo Pieres. Polito with the backshot there, and now Adolfo on Roxy, the one he likes the most. Adolfo sending the ball, stopped in the way by Pablo Pieres. Here he comes, Polito. Turning there, chased by Poroto Cambiaso, and again, Polito Pieres. Oops. A whistle, a very clear foul. Called to Adolfo, I think.
Exactamente. Yo tengo que dar foul verde, o de contacto.
¿Podemos esperar a que terminemos de debatir la jugada, por favor?
Let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to take a look at the replay. Firstly, to see what happened. They're checking it with the third man. We have 2 situations. Definitely.
Está correcto. Ok. Tiene que cambiar. Para 60 yardas, vamos a adelantar cosas. Hay contacto, ¿no? Sí. Okay. O vamos con lugar. Un foul verde normal. Dale, perfecto. ¿Sí? Ahora vamos a...
They will be communicating the call. Here again.
Capitán, le damos el fallo, ¿sí? Tenemos una jugada que... Le damos el fallo, tenemos una jugada que arranca con el 2 verde, jugando una bocha a la tabla. Entendemos que el azul espera y dobla bien. El jugador verde sigue derecho con una línea vieja y es que genera peligro contra el jugador azul. Va a ser una jugada imprudente, va a ser 60 yardas a favor azul.
Okay, 60 yards in favor of blue, and this is what happened. Polito played the ball towards the boards, and the blue player, aka Adolfo, picked the line properly, while Polito continued on the previous line. It was a dangerous play. This is why this is a penalty 4 in favor of La Dolfina. Following the analysis also with Pepe Araya, who is the third man. The foul was called against Polito for having generated a danger since he took Adolfo in the back. And here comes Poroto from 60 yards to extend the lead. Stopped in the way by Pablo Pieres. Nicely done by Polito. So one more life to La Natividad. Now on the near side, chased by Pelon. But still, Polito prevails. And now Barto Castañola coming from behind, picking it up for La Natividad. Here comes Barto. Open to the right-hand side. Barto Castañola losing another cigar. The second one he loses in the game. The other one was at the beginning. And now Camilo Castañola picking the ball properly. Open to the right-hand side, chased by Pelon. The way they are marking him today is amazing. Camilo. Now taken by Poroto Cambiaso. Here comes Camilo. Cambiaso. And now Castañola hit there, and now Adolfo with the pickup, and here he comes. Again, a great defense by La Dolfina, and Adolfo taking the danger away. And here comes Barto. Coming back to pick it up. Barto Castañola. Over the marking by Pelon Sterling. Barto again. Open to the right-hand side, taking his time. Coming from behind was Nachi. Nachi Uplesi, and also Camilo. Camilo from the boards to the center. Camilo Castañola. Here comes Geta. Now challenged by Adolfo. Now Nachi Uplesi leaving it for Barto, who was coming from behind. Again, Barto Castañola entering the defense. Great play by Barto Castañola. From the boards to the center, Barto Castañola, and the ball goes wide to the left-hand side. A great opportunity taken by Barto, but he missed it. And La Dolfina will be resuming from the back. 11-7, La Dolfina still in the lead by 4. And it's incredible to see how much is taking La Natividad to set an attacking opportunity. There we are. Pelon Sterling leading the attack again for the men in blue. One of the best today, David Sterling. Pelon with the approach, looking for Poroto Cambiaso, who was running forward. The ball passing by, the marking by Polito. And now Pelon Sterling, and the ball stays in behind. Polito completing the defending play. And now Nero coming from behind was Camilo Castañola. Nero from the box to the center. The shot at goal, and now Camilo picking it up. The marking by Juan Martín, taking some risk. Geta. And now Juan Martín, and coming from a different angle again. Nachi Duplessis saving the day for La Natividad, and now taking it away. The approach there, the ball remains in. Pelon from the ball to the center, marking by Polito. The ball passing by, and covering the field is going to be Nachi. Also Barto Castañola with the back shot and the whistle. Polito is hurting. Next to him is Pelon Sterling. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. I don't know what is it that actually happened, but let's see. Let's follow Polito. There. When Pelon took that under the neck approach, he ended up hitting Polito. Let's see it here. There. Straightening his right hand. Look.
eso?
Traveler, chaqueta de horses picked by Camilo and Polito in this moment of the game.
Y después la...
We're watching a great final here in Palermo with a great La Dolfina. A great defending team by La Dolfina, who is also taking their
Y después la
opportunities.
jugada, para mí hay
As soon
una
as
posición
they-
que va a llegar más cercana al de la Dolfina, pero yo creo que no tiene posición nadie. Puede tocar, pega un bajando del verde.
Del verde, ¿no?
Un back
Look
verde.
who's there,
Para mí no tiene
Mila,
posición todavía.
Adolfo's
Va a llegar, pero
youngest
todavía
daughter.
tiene
Next to her, Maria, her mother.
que- Ok. ¿Te parece que volvamos con un
Lo
throw en centro
importante,
tabla?
no ves
No hay una posición clara. Dale,
Okay, they're
perfecto.
going to be giving out a throw-in since there wasn't a
Vamos a renovar con un
clear
throw en centro
team
tablas.
with the possession of the ball. This is why it's not a fair play drop ball.
No, throw en centro tablas.
So throwing from the center to
Capitán
the
Verde
boards.
tiene que volver el mismo caballo.
Sí. ¿Puedes? Eso, gracias.
Dale.
Voy a hacer una advertencia.
¿Dónde estoy? ¿La vas a hacerle?
Sí, sí, sí,
Dale,
creo que está bien.
Ok, perfecto.
Un segundo, por favor.
We're going to be
Un segundo.
warning the players.
No, muchachos, no estoy dando juego. Va para los capitanes y para los 8. Vamos a hacer una advertencia general por el pedido de foul. Recién hubo bastantes gritos. No lo permitimos más.
A
¿Ok?
general warning to all of
Gracias.
you, to all 8 players.
Vamos ya.
Stop shouting, stop asking for fouls. We're not going to be allowing it anymore. Camilo picking the ball in the back of the lineup, and here he comes. The ball stays in behind. Nachi Duplessis reaching out for it. Also Pelon, Sterling, and now Juan Martin. Leaving it for Adolfo. The ball again stays in behind. Here comes Nero pretty quickly on top of the ball. The under the neck approach, putting some pressure on Barto Castañola, who's gonna get there first. Under pressure by Pelon Sterling. Barto taking his time. Nice resolving by La Natividad's number 3, and here he comes. Barto Castañola, the ball passing by, looking for Nachi Duplessis, who was coming on the inside. Another lost cigar. So first there is going to be Adolfo, challenged also by Camilo. And now Nachi Duplessis challenging Adolfo. Nice marking by Nachi, even though he lost his mallet. He managed to still put Adolfo under pressure, and now Barto Castañola. Barto chased by Poroto, another approach by Barto Castañola. Challenged by Juan Martin, and now Camilo taking his time. Another approach, open to the right hand side. Camilo, the marking by Nero. Amazing. And a standing ovation for Juan Martin Nero. The game he is playing today is for everybody to learn how to play polo, definitely. On his comeback to La Dolfina, Nero is playing his best game of the season in the final of the Argentine Open. Poroto, open to the left-hand side, and here comes Poroto Cambiaso, looking to add one more before the end of checker number 7. Nice approach by Poroto Cambiaso. From the boards to the center, here comes Poroto, the approach there to link with Pelon Sterling, the ball passing by, here comes Pelon, and the ball ended up going wide to the right-hand side, but what a run by Poroto Cambiaso into the last minute of checker number 7. Still a goalless checker, but so emotional and vibrant here. The passing by Poroto and Pelon getting really close to score, and now Nachi. They must score at least one more time before the end of the checker. I mean La Natividad, otherwise entering the last checker 4 goals behind against La Dolfina. It's really hard. Camilo with the marking, the ball going over the boards. And it's going to be in favor of La Dolfina. Adolfo, if he wins today, he will be breaking many records that I will be pointing out soon. Camilo Castañola taking his time, changing the angle here to link with Barto, who was coming from behind. The marking by Pelon Sterling. Nice approach by Pelon, and now Juan Martin open to the right hand side when we listen to the first bell, and now Camilo Castañola closing the play there. But still, the pressure by Nero remains. The back shot there by Juan Martin, looking for Adolfo. The tapping by Polito. Here comes Adolfo to score from an open angle, and the ball hit the post, and here comes Pablo Pieres, challenged by Pelon. And now Barto Castagnola giving some continuity coming from behind. 5 seconds remaining. Pelon Sterling bringing the ball back in. Adolfo Cambiaso, the ball passing by. If it goes in, it counts as a goal, but it doesn't. So here comes the end of chapter number 7. La Dolfina remains on the lead by 4. 11 to La Dolfina, 7 to La Natividad. Wow, one more chaka remaining. So La Dolfina still getting really close to score. Look, the ball hit the post and then Polito took the danger away. As I was mentioning before, the last time father and son played the final of the Open was in 1985 when Alberto Pedro Egui alongside sons Pepe and Russo played for Chapalefu against La Espadaña. With a win by La Espadaña, and the last time father and son won the Open was in 1983, 39 years ago, when Coronel Suárez team, composed by Horacio and Benjamín Araya, won the Open. That was 39 years ago, and that can be matched today. Also, in case La Dolfina wins today, Adolfo Cambiaso will be in the third position among historical winners of the Open. Now in this moment, Juan Carlito Harriot on top of the list, 20-time winner of the Argentine Open. For the last time, that was in 1979. Followed by Horacio Egui, 19 times. Followed by, nowadays, in this moment, Adolfo Cambiaso and Alberto Pedro Egui, 17 times. Therefore, if Dolfina wins today, Adolfo will be celebrating the title for the 18th time in his life. Amazing. And here, head-to-head, Camilo and Poroto. Throws 1, 4, and 3. Fouls committed 3 apiece. Penalties, they both missed 60. Shots at goal, 1 out of 1, 3 out of 3. And now we enter the last chapter of the game. Camilo on open Callaway, Polito, Anaísur Blondi, Barto Castagnola, Federica, Nachi Duplessis, meta previa. They need to score as soon as possible, La Natividad, in order to remain with chances in this game. Otherwise, La Dolfina will be reaching Hurlingham as the second most winner of the Argentine Open. Cuartetera 06, Pelon on Brown Sugar, Poroto, Dolfina, Cuartetera 01, Nero, Rumba. And the game is now on. The ball there. Here comes Juanma to extend the lead, and the foul. A whistle when Juanma was about to score. I think he took the risk just in case. The blue player took a back shot on the near side ahead of the feet of the horse. Polito ready to take it on the near side, and Juanma taking the back shot ahead of him. Let's see what's going to happen here. They are taking it with the third man.
Claro, por eso esa es mi evaluación, y que el otro se adelante y le pega adelante, pero exactamente, vamos para mi cancha. Perfecto.
So, 5B.
No, la tiene de revés el jugador verde, y el jugador azul hace foul al pegar adelante.
Very clear the indication by the official. The green player had the ball on the near side to play it, and then the blue player took a back shot ahead of him. Look, here we're going to see it more clearly. Look, Polito ready to take it on the near side, and Juanma taking the shot ahead of Polito. So it's going to be a 5B in favor of La Natividad from the midfield line. Nacho du Plessis ready to resume the play. A lot to go here. Nacho du Plessis with the approach. The ball passing by with some pressure over Juan Martín Nero. And there comes Camilo Castañola to score at the beginning of checker number 8. Camilo Castañola closing the gap very quickly into checker number 8. And now it's a 3-goal lead for La Dolfina. There again. Camilo very quickly on top of the ball. And now it's 11-8.
19, 20, 21, 22.
And now Juan Martín taking the ball in the lineup, and here he comes open to the left-hand side. Camilo, the under the neck approach, and again Polito Pieres, a new approach. The hooking by Adolfo, magnificent, and now taking the danger away, and now to the other end with Juan Martín Nero, and struggling to get back is Barto Castañola. There goes Barto, but also Pelon looking for his first one today. The approach by Pelon Sterling. The ball stays in behind, and now Nacho du Plessis with the open back shot. Nice action by Nachi, and now Barto Castañola trying to give some continuity. 5 minutes remaining, and La Dolfina is leading by 3. And in the turning, Adolfo Cambiaso taking all his time. The under the neck approach to link with Juan Martín. Juan Martín to get closer to the win. The ball stays in behind. And now Polito Pieres, the pressure by Adolfo. And now Barto Castañola. Here comes Barto changing the angle to link with Camilo Castañola. Here comes Camilo, nice pickup. And the first approach by Camilo Castañola. A new one to enter the penalties area. Here he comes to close the gap for La Natividad. Camilo Castañola scoring for La Natividad, and now they're only 2 goals behind in the score. Camilo Castañola, the top scorer of the Argentine Open on Open Callaway, showing all his skills also. And now it's 11-9. Look, what a model of counter-attacking opportunity by La Natividad. From Barto to Camilo. And look, Camilo never losing control on the ball. And now it's 11-9 with 4 minutes remaining. Anybody's game, definitely. Camilo with the under the neck approach. The ball passing by Poroto. The marking by Polito Pieres. Nice marking by Polito. Now Barto Castañola taking his time. Barto. Chased by Adolfo, also by Poroto, still Barto Castañola. Nachi coming from behind, and now to the other end, and on the turning, Adolfo Cambiaso taking his time, and here lies the new attack for La Dolfina. Now to Poroto, here comes Poroto, ahead of Nacho du Plessis, the marking there, the ball stays in behind, and now Juan Martín Nero taking all his time, 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Juan Martín, the ball stays in behind, and now Adolfo, Juan Martín, and the ball goes wide to the left-hand side. And La Dolfina giving another life to La Natividad with 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in Palermo. Absolute madness. Believe me, here in Buenos Aires, Nachi. This is the final of the Open. Nachi du Plessis, Juanma trying to pick it up. The back shot there, and now Adolfo coming from behind Nachi. Adolfo Cambiaso, the marking by Barton. Now Pelon Sterling looking to score for the first time today. Pelon Sterling, Pelon. David Sterling to extend the lead for La Dolfina. And now it's 12 goals to 9. And what a moment to score for the first time today. Pelon Sterling, the pressure by La Dolfina. And now it's 12-9. Two minutes and 8 seconds remaining. La Dolfina by 3. Nachi du Plessis linking with Polito. They need to score in this one. Pablo Pieres taking his time. Ahead of him was Adolfo. The ball passing by Poroto. Stopping it in the way, and here lies the opportunity to seal the win for La Dolfina. Poroto again coming from behind was Barto Castañola. The under the neck approach. And now Pelon Sterling, who had a magnificent final today. A whistle when Barto Castañola was reaching out for the ball. And look the way the standings are cheering up for his prodigal son, Pelon Sterling. All the Uruguayans there cheering up for Pelon, and now it's gonna be a 60-yard at least in favor of La Dolfina. Poroto here. The ball stays in behind. Then Pelon, the marking by Barto Castagnola, and the whistle is gonna be from 60 yards. And what an opportunity for the men in blue to seal the win. Should they score here, that would be it. Adolfo placing the ball. Next to him is Juan Martín Nero. Poroto Cambiaso with the opportunity of extending the lead and sealing the win in favor of La Dolfina from 60 yards. Poroto Cambiaso from 60 yards, and the ball goes wide to the right-hand side, and La Natividad with a chance here. 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining. Very quickly, Camilo coming from behind. Challenged by Adolfo. Camilo leaving it for Nachi Duplessis. Nachi with the approach, looking for Barto Castagnola, who was coming from behind. Again, Pelon Sterling. Magnificent performance today by the Uruguayan, and now Adolfo to the other end to score. Again for La Dolfina. Here comes Adolfo, open to the right-hand side, and look the way he's gonna celebrate. Should he scores here? Adolfo Cambiaso again. 47 years old for Adolfo Cambiaso, and still he keeps on winning Argentine Opens. He keeps on scoring important goals in his life. 30 years after his debut in Palermo, Adolfo Cambiaso, evergreen. Adolfo Cambiaso seals the win for La Dolfina, and they will be the winners of the Argentine Open. Look, magnificent. Don't ever get retired from the game, Adolfo. Amazing by Adolfo Cambiaso. 30 seconds remaining, and La Dolfina will be celebrating again the title in Palermo. Nero, Juan Martín with the back shot. Adolfo again, the owner of the ball, looking for his title number 18 in Palermo. Adolfo again from a long distance. He's gonna go wide to the left-hand side, but that would be it here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And La Dolfina are the winners of the Argentine Open, following a 13-9 win against La Natividad. The championship remains in Cañuelas, but this time it crosses the street and goes to La Dolfina. Look, this guy, 17 years old. He's gonna be a 10-goaler next week. And Adolfo, wow, 18-time winner of the Argentine Open, Adolfo Cambiaso. He made his debut back in 1992. Today, 30 years later, he's celebrating the title. For 18th occasion, Poroto, first final and first title. Look, father and son. What else? What else? 1983, in Palermo, in this very field, father and son, Benjamín Araya and Horacio, won the Open, and that was the last time a father and son, until today, have won the Argentine Open. Juanma, last year, he left for Muru Santos. He didn't reach the final. This time, he is back in La Dolfina, and again, he's winning the championship, the most important tournament in the world. Poroto, 17 years old, what a moment, what a year. Is he the best player in the world? I don't know, I don't care. But let's enjoy him. The same of this guy, Adolfo. 18 titles in Palermo. The celebration of the Uruguayans there in the stands. Juan Manero winning the title in Palermo for the 12th occasion. For Pelon, is his title number 10. For Poroto, his first one, and for this guy, 18 titles in Palermo. Out of this time, definitely. Poroto, how much pressure he supported during these weeks. 17 years old for Poroto Cambiaso, becoming the youngest ever to win the Argentine Open. Also, he's gonna become the youngest ever to reach 10 goals in Argentina next week. the celebrations between Adolfo and his wife Maria. Poroto cambiazo. Wow, what a moment for the 17-year-old. The celebrations between Adolfo and all the people there in the corner. Vicente Stirling jumping there. Pelon's eldest son. And the trophy remains in Cañuelas. And La Dolfina winning the Open for a 15th time in history. They started playing in the Open in the year 2000. They only missed the final in 2004. They reached the final in 22 occasions. They won it 15 times. And look, all the madness there. The classic Dale Campeón there for La Dolfina. Again, as it happened in other occasions, it's a double title. They won the Ladies Open a couple of hours ago against La Arenita in field number 2. And now they repeat, winning the Argentine Open. What a year for them.
¿Loco estás? Adolfito, el título número 18 es el más lindo de tu carrera.
Sí, la verdad que sí.
This is the nicest title ever for me.
Fue el Palermo más difícil de mi vida.
It was the most
Porque-
difficult Palermo for me ever.
Que yo cuando jugaba con Pablo me
When I
ocupaba de
used
mí
to
nomás.
play with Pablo, it
Ahora-
was different.
Siendo que estaba Poroto en la cancha,
Now with Poroto
tenía
inside
una
the field,
preocupación doble.
my worry was
En realidad no me tenía que
double.
preocupar mucho porque
I didn't have to worry
Juega
much
bastante mejor que yo
actually
ya,
because
pero-
he's already playing even
pero nada,
better than
un
me.
sueño
But this is a
de mucho trabajo.
dream come
Y no
true.
lo puedo creer,
A
la
lot of
verdad
work.
que-
I cannot believe this.
Debo agradecer a María que
I
me
want to thank
permitió
Maria, my wife,
este sueño
who was part of
y
this
me
dream.
acompañó en toda esta locura
He
mía.
was always by my
Ni
side.
hablar a Milo,
Milo
a
also,
Juanma
a Juanma,
y a Pelón.
and
Así que,
Pelón also, all of
y a
them.
toda la gente que me ha
And all
prestado
the
caballo
people
como
who's been lending me horses,
Alejandro Bassoni, nos
like
prestó Melissa
Alejandro
Gansi, nos
Bassoni,
prestó-
Melissa Gansi,
nos prestó Paco de Narváez,
Paco de Narváez.
Santiago Ballester,
Santi
no sé,
Ballester.
me voy a olvidar de muchos.
I'm gonna forget about many of them, but
Yoko
a lot.
Lalor. Hay un montón de gente para agradecer.
A lot of people
El
to
Gigi a
thank
través de-
for.
De una persona, mi padrino.
My
Así que nada,
godfather.
estoy feliz.
¿Cómo vivías el
I'm
partido?
so
¿Qué pasaba
happy.
en tu cabeza? ¿Lo pudiste disfrutar?
No lo disfruté, la verdad
I
que
didn't
no.
enjoy this game at all.
Seguramente lo voy a disfrutar hoy a la noche, pero
For sure, I'll be
gané el
enjoying
abierto
it
con mi hijo,
tonight.
ya, más no puedo pedir.
I cannot
¿No le
ask for
puedes pedir
more
más
now.
al Polo?
A nada,
I cannot ask
verdaderamente a
for more.
nada.
Felicitaciones, disfrutalo. También ganó Mía en
Congratulations,
la otra
enjoy
cancha,
it.
ganó toda la
Also
familia.
Mia
Sí,
won
fue
today.
increíble,
It was an amazing
un día
day.
impresionante,
Incredible.
emocionante.
An
Ahora que gana
amazing day.
Argentina.
Felicitaciones y a seguir haciendo historia.
Adolfo Cambiaso. 18 titles in Palermo, but this one, the most special one for him, definitely. Winning it with his son Poroto. speaking about, of course.
Bueno, Gustavo, acá estoy con Poroto.
All who made it
Bueno,
possible.
Poroto, no te me
Poroto.
pongas el cassette, no me digas ni programón ni muy divertido. Ganaste el Abierto de Palermo. ¿Qué
You
pasaba
won
en
the
tu cabeza en el
Open.
partido?
What
¿Qué
is it
pasa ahora?
going on now?
No, la verdad que no lo puedo creer.
I cannot believe this.
La verdad que se me dio poder ganar el Abierto, que es lo que todos sueñan.
I was dreaming about
Y nada,
having
la
won
verdad
the
quiero agradecerle a
Open.
mis compañeros,
I want to
que
thank
me
my
bancaron en
teammates.
todas,
They always supported
a
me.
toda mi familia, a toda
my
la gente de la
family,
Dolfina que trabaja.
All the people there in La Dolfina.
La
who's
verdad
working
que
every
todo
day.
esto es de ellos. Sin ellos
This is
no podría haber
thanks
sido
to
posible.
them. Without them,
Iba
this
pasando el
would have been
partido,
possible.
Cháquer a Cháquer y lo ibas ganando.
Cháquer by
Ibas viendo
Cháquer,
que se
La
podía.
Dolfina was
¿Qué
ahead in the
pensabas? ¿Qué
game.
sentías?
What were you
Sí,
thinking
no, la
about
verdad
during the game?
que pudimos sacar un poco de diferencia para poder
to
estar un
take
poco
a
más
good
tranquilos,
lead,
pero
to
lejos de
get
relajarnos.
more
Y
calm, but we never
sabemos que
got
la Natividad es
relaxed.
un equipazo, los quiero
We
felicitar
know they are a
porque
great team. I want to
han ganado
congratulate
todo
them.
y
They have won everything.
nada, sabemos que en cualquier
We
momento
know
viste que ellos pueden volver y te lo pueden ganar,
that
así
they
que
made a comeback
tuvimos que mantener la
and they can
concentración
win
y
it, so
por
we
suerte
needed
se
to
nos
stay
dio que a nosotros
focused.
ganamos.
Unfortunately,
Bueno, una presión extra
The
o
win
algo,
was
un
for
plus,
us.
un condimento, jugarlo y ganarlo con papá.
Y la verdad
was
que
it
sí, la
different to
verdad
have winning it with
que lo
your
veníamos
dad?
soñando hace un montón y
We've been dreaming for this
hoy
for a
estar
long
en la final
time.
con chances era una
And
presión un
to
poco
be
más extra,
today
la
in the
verdad.
final with chances,
Así que
it
nada,
was
por suerte se nos dio un sueño.
a little bit
Bueno,
more
Poro,
pressure, but
felicitaciones, a
this is
disfrutar. Lo dijiste la semana pasada. Si me tenía que ganar el que me gane mis primos, supongo que ellos también estarán contentos por vos.
Bueno, no sé, esperemos, capaz que cuando pase un poco el partido seguro.
We're gonna
Así
be
que nada,
speaking with them, with my
igualmente los quiero
cousins.
felicitar
I
porque
want to
son unos cracks.
congratulate them because they are
Felicitaciones, anda a disfrutar
cracks.
con la familia.
There we are, father and son. 39 years later, father and son playing together have won the Open the last time, 1983. Coronel Suárez, Horacio and Benjamín Araya. 39 years later, Adolfo and Poroto Cambiaso. This is the image of the Triple Crown 2022. Tortugas won by La Natividad, Hurlingham and Palermo. For La Dolfina, following a historical final today, an all Cañuelas affair, but still, what a lead. By La Dolfina, they were always on the lead, 2-0, 3-1, 6-4, 8-4, 10-6, 11-7, 11-7, 13-9. The win for La Dolfina. Only in some moments, La Natividad managed to be 1 or 2 goals behind, but every time that happened, La Dolfina managed to extend the lead. And also Juan Martín, what a performance today by Nero. Wow, what a game, mostly during the first half. Also by Pelón. All the people there, and of course in a few moments will be live with the prize giving, with the trophy presentation, with all the awards. For them, it's the end of a great season. These horses from La Natividad, also the Dolfina's horses, are leaving the ground. What a triple crown.
El mejor gol del partido es presentado
Now,
por
let's take a look at the best
The Polo
goal
Banking
scored
Partner.
today. Barto Castañola. Camilo leading the attack here in favor of La Natividad. This was during the last checker, on a moment where it looked as if La Natividad had chances of getting closer in the score. Following that goal, La Natividad was 2 goals behind, but then Pelón and Adolfo appeared to seal the win.
La escapada del partido es presentada por Volkswagen.
Another
¿Cómo
open.
vuelven allí? Cambia su...
Great place today. Adolfo. Then Juan Martín. Nero with another approach. What a game today by Juan Martín, I insist. Another tapping. Chased by Barto. And Juan Martín Nero. Wow. One of the best plays today, definitely.
Bueno, Gustavo, estamos con Pepe y
Now the
nos
chance
escuchaba
to
ahora el
speak
aplauso para todos los
to
chicos después de
Pepe,
este gran
la
partido.
Natividad's coach.
Sí, la verdad que el reconocimiento, una muy buena temporada.
This
Nos
was a
topamos
great
con un
season
equipo en
by
la
the
final
boys.
Impresionante, organizadísimo, remontado, muy bien en
They
posición.
were really organized.
Que jugó mejor que
everything.
nosotros, así que el aplauso al reconocimiento del esfuerzo que hicieron.
I want to
Y
acknowledge
hoy nos
the effort they
ganaron
made. And
¿Qué
back
tiene
today,
este equipo de la
they did
Dolfina
us
que logró algo
well.
inédito? Porque hizo que el equipo de ustedes, que la Natividad, no pueda meter goles en 3 checkers, cosa que no había pasado en todo el abierto.
No,
There were 3
es el
checkers
mejor equipo. En
that
toda la temporada fue el mejor equipo como
la
juego,
Natividad
como
wasn't able to score.
circulación. Pasa Juanma
They
al
were the
ataque,
best team.
los relevos son
Definitely,
impresionantes.
Juanma
Tienen un sistema de
was
juego
attacking
que
a lot. They had
ya
a
se
great
veía toda la
system.
temporada. Como equipo era el mejor.
As a
Después
team,
hay que jugar
they
los
were the
partidos,
best
pero ya
one.
toda la temporada
We
había
needed
sido
to
el
play
mejor
today,
equipo.
but we knew
Y
that they were the
no
best
les puedes
team.
meter gol, tenés que
And
meter
it's
uno
really
lejos, de
difficult to
milagro.
score against them.
Los relevos son impresionantes.
They
La
made
verdad que
the
nos ganaron
changings
muy bien.
really well.
Muchas
They
gracias.
beat us
De nada.
properly. Pepe, who was part of the last final where father and son played in the Open. Before this one, that was back in 1985 when they
El
lost.
jugador del partido es presentado por RAM, la potencia del liderazgo.
Against La Espadaña. There we are now, waiting for the trophy presentation here in Palermo, following a great final. La Dolfina has conquered their title number 15 in Palermo, 2 years after their last title. They're back in the top of the podium. What else to be said? here in the field. They are calling for Tommy Panelo. I guess that he's going to be awarded with the best young and upcoming player of the season. And now, of course, we're waiting for the players to gather in the center of the field for the trophy presentation, while we already have a good sight at not only the trophy here on screen, but also the horses picked as the best playing ponies today. Throws 1, 13 by La Natividad, 11 by La Dolfina. Fulls committed 6 and 9. Penalties 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4. Safeties 1 out of 1, scored by Adolfo. Shots at goal 6 out of 11, 10 out of 25. Assists 1 by La Dolfina. And then total goals scored today in the final of the Open: 9 by La Natividad, 13 by La Dolfina. So as soon as the trophy presentation gets underway, we'll be back from Palermo with the prize giving of the final of the Argentine Open.
El jugador del partido es presentado por RAM, la potencia del liderazgo.
Well, but before that, let's see who was the best player today. Juan Martín, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Even more if we take a look at the first half. The performance by Juan Martín was absolutely amazing. Absolutely flawless, both in defense and in attack. Scoring, actually I think he was the top scorer today, yes, alongside Poroto. They scored 5 goals apiece. And he was picked by the production here as the best, as the most valuable player. Juan Martín on his comeback to the final of the Open. There we are with the checker by checker: 2-0, 3-1, 6-4, 8-4, 10-6, 11-7, 11-7, 13-9. During 3 checkers, La Natividad wasn't able to score. And that is really weird to see. Absolutely rare.
Perro, ¿me escucha?
No, le tienen que avisar. No sé si no te tienen que decir.
¿Estamos acá justo de paso?
Dolfina Uranga, president of the AAP. There is nothing better to see than Palermo absolutely packed. This is a historical day for us, for the AAP. We had a triple crown with the 3 different finals. We also started with the lakes from other parts of the country.
Deporte, y tuvimos el primer mundial
Then
femenino.
our aim was to get it more international, and we host the first
y ahora la verdad que muy felices
Ladies World
arrancando a
Cup,
celebrar o
and now
finalizando estos,
we're really happy
estos primeros 100 años de la Nación Argentina de
to
Polo,
be celebrating
que
the
la verdad
first
que nos
100 years
dejan
of the
una
AAP.
muy linda enseñanza para los argentinos. Por un lado, el pensar a largo plazo. Hace
This
100
is a great
años
learning for
nacía esta
Argentina.
Asociación
We need
Argentina
to
de
think
Polo
in long term.
en Hurlingham.
The
Se
AAP was
juntaban 10
born 100
personas
years
en un
ago
lugar,
in
pero estaban
Hurlingham.
pensando que eso iba a trascender. Y dieron el
They
origen
were never
y
thinking
las
about
fuentes
this
iniciales para que esto después se expanda a
to
todo
be
el país,
so transcendental.
a 300 clubes y a
But
miles de
then it
jugadores.
started to
Y lo segundo
widen
es
up
que los
to
argentinos,
300 clubs.
si trabajamos
And in second
con
place,
visión de largo plazo, si trabajamos
ones
ordenados,
who-
coordenados y comunicados, podemos lograr grandes cosas.
If we
Y algo que nos enseña el polo argentino es
thinking about
que
the long
podemos
term,
ser
we can
lo
reach
mejor del polo
a
del
great
mundo.
achievement. Look
Así
what
que
Polo did here.
argentinos tenemos una oportunidad
Argentines,
de aprender del
we
polo,
need
de que
to,
cuando nos
we
proponemos
have an
algo
opportunity
podemos lograr
of
grandes
learning from the
cosas.
polo.
Bueno,
of
¿no te da la
achieving
sensación
great
de
stuff.
futuro esto? Porque los chicos Castañola, Poroto, que nos sorprendió ya, no puedo decir revelación,
What do
pero
you think about the
ganar
kids,
con
Poroto?
padre y con hijo, como había pasado en el 83, tuvimos que esperar como 39
We needed
años
to wait
para que
39
vuelva a
years
suceder. Fue realmente
for
un
a father
año
and son
histórico.
winning the Open.
Sí, final soñada.
It was
Hace
a
17 años,
grand
Dolfito
final.
estaba jugando en la cancha 2, nacía su
30
hijo
year.
Poroto, y hoy, 17 años más tarde, Adolfito puede levantar
And now
la copa del
Adolfo
torneo más
is
importante
able
del mundo, el
to
abierto, junto a
lift
su
the
hijo.
trophy of the most
Esto es algo
important
que
tournament in the
no es
world
muy
with his
común.
son.
Creo que además Poroto debe ser el
I think that
jugador más
also
joven en ganar
Poroto
el
becomes the
abierto
youngest
argentino.
ever to
Y una final
to
soñada
win the
familiar,
Open.
algo importante
It was a
en el
very
polo,
grand
es que
final,
nos sostenemos
also
en
it
el
was
valor
a
de los equipos,
family
pero
final.
también en el valor de la familia. Y bueno, hoy se
The
vivió
values of the
una
family.
final donde había muchas combinaciones,
There
estaba
were many
el padre
combinations
con su
today,
hijo,
father and
estaban los
son,
tíos y sobrinos, y bueno, hasta Juan Manero y
uncle and
Polito Pieres, que
nephew,
comparten
and also Juanma and
mismas
Polito,
mujeres, bueno,
brothers-in-law.
hermanas.
Con cuñados. Bueno, bandera de Uruguay, Sudáfrica,
Flag from
mujeres de
Uruguay, South
Inglaterra,
Africa,
Estados Unidos. Muy
women
internacional
from
el día. Y la
England,
última pregunta
from
que te
the
hago.
US, a very international
Sí,
day.
Tucán, la verdad que la tribuna estaba llena de
The stands were
distintos
full
idiomas.
of different languages.
Tuvimos la suerte
We were lucky
de
enough
tener un abierto donde en la
have
final jugaron un jugador de Uruguay, un
An
jugador de
Open with a
Sudáfrica,
final play by a Uruguayan player, by
en
a
la
South
otra
African
final de
player.
mujeres había jugadoras de Estados Unidos, de Inglaterra.
And in the ladies,
así que muy contento de
we had
recibir a todo
women
el
from
mundo
the
acá.
US,
Thank you
from
very much
England.
for coming to Argentina. We love you guys to have you guys here. Come back next year, ¿no?
Sí, bueno, gracias, Delfín. Muy bien. las
Delfín
mujeres, ¿no?
Uranga, the president of the AAP.
Bueno, acá estamos. El MVP del partido, Juan Martinero. Juanma, era un partido muy importante
Juanma.
para la Dolfina. Poroto, Adolfito, padre e hijo.
Was the
Pero
MVP.
¿qué partido te jugaste? ¿Cómo
What
lo
a
viviste?
game you played today.
Para mí también, que por nada, impresionante.
Was a very important game for me.
impresionante
It was
haber
amazing.
llegado a este día, a
To
la
have
final,
reached this
haberla jugado
day,
como
to
la
have reached the
jugamos, haber ganado
final,
como
the
se
way we
ganó.
played
Creo que
today, the way we won.
la ganamos bien, que
I think
hasta
we
podríamos
won
haber ido entrado al
well.
último por más goles.
I
Erramos
think
un
we
poquito
could have entered the
algunos
last
goles,
checker with a
medio
weight
solos,
difference.
pero feliz
But
que
I'm so happy.
esto, cuando nos armamos el equipo de vuelta,
When we set
parecía
the
medio
team,
lejano y
it
haberlo
was
ganado hoy,
kind
no
of
sé,
a
hay que disfrutarlo porque
dream,
tranquilamente es el
but we need
último,
to
así que hay
enjoy
que
this
disfrutarlo.
because it might be the
¿Estás
last.
cambiando de posición? ¿Te estás pasando más para adelante?
You're
Y
attacking more now?
bueno, siempre con la Dolfina
I
me ha
don't know,
pasado
maybe
que voy
with
para
la
adelante,
Dolfina,
obviamente, porque
I
queda
attack a lot
Poroto,
more.
queda Pelón, los relevos siempre funcionan y hoy
Pelón
salió
and
que tenía que ir
Poroto
para
stay a lot in the
adelante.
back.
Eso se da en
I
los
needed to
partidos
go
y hoy se
forward
dio así.
today.
Bien,
and
pudieron neutralizar
therefore,
un equipo bravísimo que es la Natividad
I did it
y como
today.
decías vos, generaron
What
cantidad de
can you tell me
situaciones,
against la
incluso algunas no
Natividad?
terminaron en gol. Tuvieron un excelente partido.
Yo creo que sí, hoy jugamos bien,
I think we play well
la verdad
today.
que bastante pegándole a la bocha, los
We
caballos
hit
no
the
funcionaban
ball
muy bien,
well.
me parece que sobramos ahí,
horses
en caballo pasábamos.
We're really good.
Nada, se jugó espectacular, los
I think
cuatro
we
creo
played
que tuvimos
really
un gran
well. The
día,
four
porque
of
para
us
ganarle a este equipo
had
había
a
que jugar
great
bien, es
day.
un gran equipo,
You
era el
need
último
that
campeón.
to beat such a great
Nada,
team.
ahora disfrutar
The
esto,
title
a
holders, I want to
festejarlo,
enjoy this, I want to
que
celebrate it.
cueste mucho.
Bueno, la
because
última.
this is really
Acompañaste a
hard.
un amigo, Adolfito, a hacer historia con su hijo. ¿Era importante para vos?
Adolfito made history with his son. How important it was for us.
La verdad que ahora ganó con el hijo y ya no sé qué más
Look,
le queda.
I don't know what
Ya
else
ganó
for
todo,
him.
no sé
He
cuántas
already
veces con el
won
hijo.
with his son.
Increíble lo que ha hecho, el
It's
esfuerzo que hizo
amazing what he
Dolfito,
did,
Bob,
the effort made by him,
que trajeron caballos,
by
que
Bob,
nos
by
montó a
David,
todos.
all the people
La
who
verdad
brought horses
que
over.
se ganó por eso, se
I
ganó
think
desde
we
enero,
won
arrancó
due
el
to
equipo
that.
a trabajar para esto. Así
I
que
think
agradecerle a
went from
Dolfito, a
minus to
Poroto y a
more.
toda la
I
organización de
want to
Dolfina.
thank all the organization
Juanma, felicitaciones
for this.
por este triunfo, por
Juanma,
el partidazo que te jugaste.
congratulations for
Anda a
your
buscar
game.
el premio, a disfrutar y a
Another
festejar.
moment to lift the trophy. Juan Martín Nero, what a performance, I insist. I don't know if he's going to be picked as the most valuable player today, later in the prize giving, but it was amazing, actually. Now, all the ladies that took part of the Women's Argentine Open, there are the Benot sisters, Pearl, Elena, Lucy, Mili Sanchez, Fátima Balzano, Hope Arellano from the US, Izzy Parsons, the 4 players of La Arenita, Milagros, Candelaria, and the players of the Women's Argentine Open.
Chicos, una de las yeguas ganadoras que estoy viendo es Anaisur Brandi. Sí. Exacto. Y me contaban que quedó la Matsu ahí también en duda.
Se queda en la cancha,
Muy
no
cerca.
se va ninguna, ¿eh?
Sí, el otro gol, claro.
Vamos a
Exacto.
pedir al presidente de la Asociación de Polo que suba al podio.
Sí.
The moment to call now the president of the AAP and also the president of the Uruguayan Polo Federation, who is joining Delfín.
Que le va a hacer una entrega de una placa especial de la Asociación Uruguaya de Polo por cumplirse los 100
And a
años.
very special gift from the Uruguayan Federation to celebrate the 100 years of the AAP. This is really important. Argentina and Uruguay this year, they faced each other during the World Cup.
Muchas gracias. Delfín, te vamos a pedir que te quedes en el podio. La Asociación Argentina de Polo y la Asociación Civil de Árbitros de Polo agradecen a la Helvetia Polo, and Country Club y a la familia Bastos Martins por las atenciones y el apoyo recibido.
There in the graphics, you can read that this is title number 15 for La Dolfina, and it's the second in history in the standings. Of course, on top of the standings, Coronel Suárez, 25 titles, followed by La Dolfina and Hurlingham, 15. Ale Pascual there, one of the professional umpires in Argentina.
Cedo la palabra al señor Cabeto Bastos.
Este es un buen premio, es un buen reconocimiento a Cabeto Bastos, que le agradecen por la verdad que la ayuda enorme que le dieron a Juan Araya. La verdad que muchísima plata costó y se hicieron cargo allá en Brasil.
a las 22 horas, una Ave María por más.
Ahí está
This is
Cabeto
due to
emocionado.
Juan Araya, who is fighting for his life. Had an accident some months
Juan
ago
Araya, que sigue
in
peleando,
Brazil.
sigue tratando
He's
de
still fighting for
despertarse.
his life.
Y ahí está, y sube la Asociación de Árbitros y la Asociación de Polo le agradece por todo el esfuerzo
Ahora
que
sí
tiene.
vamos a brindarle un fuerte aplauso a Juan Araya para que pueda salir de este momento tan difícil y a toda su familia.
Sí.
Muchas gracias, Delfín, te pedimos que te quedes todavía en el podio. Vamos a pedirle a la intendenta de Cañuelas, Marisa Fassi, por favor que suba al podio. En este momento va a haber una entrega de un intercambio, digamos, de placas. Marisa Fassi le hace entrega a Delfín Uranga de una placa por el centenario de la Asociación Argentina de Polo.
Marisa Fassi,
Y Delfín
intendenta de
Uranga le hace una
Cañuelas.
entrega de una placa a
Están
Marisa
intercambiando
Fassi
placas.
por el
¿Sabe que se
bicentenario
viene
de la
un club
Municipalidad
de
de
polo
Cañuelas que
oficial de
siempre nos
Cañuelas?
This is
acompaña y hace
the
crecer
chief
el
of
mejor
government of
polo del
Cañuelas.
mundo.
Durando unos años
Of course,
y un
behind
proyecto
the
muy interesante ahí en
polo.
Cañuelas. Algo parecido a lo de,
Delfín, pedimos que te quedes
lo de
todavía en
Pilar,
el
la Asociación
podio.
Argentina de Polo en
Muchas
Pilar, pero en
gracias, Marisa.
Cañuelas, que sigue creciendo.
Seguimos ahora con el premio
ya pasó ya. En realidad fue un reconocimiento, porque las chicas ya tuvieron su entrega de premios y estuvieron recién sacándose una foto.
Por impulsar y traccionar y hacer crecer el polo en el interior, semillero de los grandes campeones, integrando y fomentando el deporte.
10-6 sobre la arenita.
Entrega junto al presidente de la Asociación de Polo, Delfín Uranga.
Cuarto título para la Dolfina de mujeres, 2 para el Overo. Así están en el historial.
Delfín, te pedimos que te quedes todavía en el podio un rato más. Vamos a pedirle a Delfi Sola, Delfina Sola, que acompañes a Delfín y a Carlos Menéndez Betti al podio. Rosario, perdona. Nada puede malir sal, decía el dicho. Premio Rubén Sola, la revelación del campeonato argentino abierto para el señor Tomás Panelo. Le invitamos a subir al podio.
Rosario Sola, sister of Facu Sola, presenting the Rubén Sola Award to Tommy Panelo.
También vamos a pedir, en este caso, un homenaje con un fuerte aplauso a Rubén Sola, que ayer se cumplieron 3 años de su partida.
Yesterday,
fue un gran jugador.
Tommy Panelo with the Rubén Sola Award to the best young and upcoming player.
Y un gran embajador del polo internacional.
Premio Revelación. Yesterday, 3 years of the passing of Rubén Sola after a game between la Natividad y las Monjitas.
Vamos a invitar ahora a los grandes protagonistas de esta tarde, a los equipos de la Dolfina y la Natividad al podio.
Now the moment to call the teams.
Vamos, invitamos a la Dolfina, a la Natividad a subir al podio.
There we are with Camilo, the top scorer of this Argentine Open. 54, he finishes as a top scorer of the Argentine Open. Nacho Duplessis, Pelón, Sterling. There we are with all the players.
Adolfo Cambiaso. Adolfo, acá.
Now a word with
¿qué está
Adolfo.
escuchando la gente, Adolfo? ¿Qué está pasando por tu cabeza? Se me ocurren mil
What is it
preguntas
going
acá.
on through your head in this moment?
¿Qué está pasando por tu cabeza en este momento?
Gracias, la verdad que...
A standing ovation for the man, of course.
Increíble.
This is amazing.
Era jugar en realidad en la cancha 1 con esta gente.
My dream was to play in this field.
La verdad que es un sueño cumplido.
This is a dream come true for me.
Nada, solo agradecer. La verdad
I want to thank everybody. I cannot ask for more. I want to thank everybody.
No solamente ganaste vos, ganaste con tu hijo después de 39 años. Ganó Mía también. En
Also, Mia won.
¿Qué más podés pedir?
What else can you ask to Polo? I cannot ask for more. I just want to thank everybody. To all the people who were behind me all this time. This was a great project for me. I call Juanma. He joined us. I cannot believe this. Some words
Nada,
for
¿qué
la
puedo decir? Son
Natividad.
mis sobrinos,
They are my nephews.
los quiero mucho,
I
son
really love them.
hijo de mi hermana, imagínate.
They are the
Soy
sons of my
padrino de
sister.
Barto, así que
I'm
nada, todo lo
Barto's
mejor siempre
godfather.
para ellos. Y nada, disfruto
I
jugar
want the
en
best
contra de
for
ellos.
them. I really enjoy when I have to play them.
Me imagino, bueno, disfrutar el aplauso que te baja a las tribunas. De caballos, muy bien hoy, ¿no?
What do you
Sí,
think about the
también
horses
agradecido
today?
a un montón de gente.
I wanna
Detrás de
thank
esto
a
hay
lot
un
of
montón de
people.
gente que me ayudó a cumplir el sueño, que
There
son
were a
un
lot of
montón, ya lo voy
people
a
who
llamar
helped
uno
me.
por uno para agradecerle muchos
There are lots.
préstamos de
I don't
mucha
wanna
gente
forget
fuera de
everybody.
la Dolfina.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
All the
¿Por otro es
organization
clon o
of
es
La
humano?
Dolfina. What do you think
No
about
sé, digan
Poroto?
ustedes, no sé.
Is he human?
Gracias.
No,
I don't know what to say. Adolfo Cambiaso.
Vamos a comenzar con la entrega
Sí.
de premios. Copa Lady Susan Townley al mejor caballo jugador de la final.
Best Playing Pony.
Y premio Tito Lescano al peticero del caballo ganador de la Copa Lady Susan Townley.
Lady Susan
Y
Townley.
premio Best Playing Pony Casa Libertas y Grand Champion y Polo League. Para Irenita Arinosa.
Irenita
jugada por
Arinosa
Pelón
by
Stirling.
Pelón Sterling
Hacen
was
entrega Martín de Narváez,
presented
Ignacio
with the
Egui.
Best Playing
Acompaña para
Pony
el premio
Award,
Peticero, el CEO Fernando
winning
Civili.
the Lady
John
Susan
Benitz y
Townley
Carmen
Cup,
Morales por
which
Casa
is the trophy
Libertas.
presented
También acompaña
to the
Juan
Best Playing
Bolini.
Pony by the AAP.
Los números de
last week.
Pelón también son increíbles, ¿no?
Look who's there, Bob Jornavas.
Décimo abierto,
Nice to see you, Bob.
13 finales.
Carlos de
es una
Narváez,
locura,
Martín de Narváez, sorry, also presenting the trophy. And last week, Pelón was asked, tell me your favorite mare. And he said, Irenita Arinosa. And here she is, winning the Lady Susan Townley Cup. I remember Pelón winning the Townley 6 years ago, playing on CP.
Muchas gracias, muchachos. Muchas gracias. Premio Asociación Argentina de Creadores de Caballos de Polo, el mejor producto jugador instinto.
Now by
raza
the
polo
Argentine
argentina
Breeders
de la final.
Association,
Y premio Sociedad Rural Argentina para Anaí Surbrandi.
Anaí Surbrandi,
Juan Martín Nero.
played and ridden by Juan Martín Nero. Anaí Surbrandi.
Y por la Asociación Argentina de
The
Creadores
Best
de
Playing
Caballos
Pony
de Polo,
Award by the
Super
Argentine Breeders Association. There we are with Santiago Ballester, President of the Argentine Breeders Association. What an unforgettable afternoon for Juan Manero, one of the greatest ever to play the sport, definitely. With his team, Matías Loyoco, also the award by the Rural Society, Sociedad Rural, Marco Segui, Anaí Sur is Marco Segui's breeding program. And there she is, Anaí Surbrandi, Best Playing Pony by the Argentine Breeders Association.
Ahora vamos a hacer la entrega de premios tradicional, pero primero se entrega a cada uno, los que entregan van quedando abajo y hacemos una foto en conjunto. Premio Gonzalo Egui, premio Tipa y Caña, el jugador más valioso
Gonzalo
de la final.
Egui Award
entrega
to the most valuable player, Juan Martín Nero. Many years ago, the most valuable player award was renamed after Gonzalo Egui's, and there she is, Jesus Egui, Gonzalo's daughter, presenting the award to Juanma.
Para Camilo Castañola, que convirtió 54 goles, entrega Tayo Novillo Estrada.
Javier Novillo Estrada award to the top scorer of the tournament, Camilo Castañola.
Copa Fomento Equino, el jugador mejor montado de la final. Para Juan Martín Nero, entrega por Fomento Equino su titular Andrés Rosenberg.
Fomento Equino award to the best mounted player today, Juan Martín Nero. Wow.
Premio Gonzalo Tanoira al jugador mejor montado del campeonato argentino abierto. Para el señor Adolfo Cambiaso Hijo, hace entrega Alma Uranga. Para el señor Adolfo Cambiaso Hijo. Alma, quédate al lado de Andrés Rosenberg, por favor. Premio Fair Play, que en este
Fair
caso
Play
es
Award.
compartido. Va a ser entrega del señor Rafael Cuño Libarona, que te pido que te quedes al lado de Alma Uranga después.
Presented by Rafael Cunha
Para
Libarona.
Poroto Cambiaso y
Poroto.
Gita Castañola. Es un premio compartido del Fair Play. Bajen los dos, por favor. Ahora sí invitamos a los que entregaron los premios que se ubiquen debajo para la foto en conjunto. Ahí abajo de ellos.
And there we are with all the people who's been presenting the individual awards. Tayo Novillo Estrada, Paz Uranga, Jesús Segui, Rafael Cunio Libarona.
Invitamos a los referees oficiales.
And now the moment to call the officials.
Se acerquen al centro para entregar la placa de reconocimiento. Lo va a hacer Marcos
The
Aldao,
umpires
junto a
today,
Rafael Cunio Libarona.
Marcos Aldao and Rafael Cunio Libarona presenting the awards to the officials today.
Al medio,
Gastón Lucero, Martín Pascual, and Pepe Araya.
Pascual, Gastón Lucero y José Ignacio Araya.
There we are with the officials today. Martín Pascual, Gastón Lucero, Pepe Araya, joined by Rafael Cunio Libarona on the left-hand side of the screen. Rafael Cunio Libarona, Martín Pascual, Gastón Lucero, Pepe Araya, and Marcos Aldao from left to right.
Copa HSBC, al equipo ganador La Dolfina entrega el señor Juan Marota, CEO de HSBC para Argentina y Latam.
And now the moment to present the replicas to the winners by the sponsor.
Muchas gracias.
There we are with the winners, receiving the first replicas. What a moment, what an Argentine Open is coming to an end. I want to thank everybody. While we continue here on the prize giving, here in Palermo, in the city center of Buenos Aires, how lucky we are. And now the moment to present the replicas to the runners-up, La Natividad. What's going to happen next year? There were so many rumors of changing of teams. Well, we need to wait some days to see what happens Monday. La H against Nuestra Tierra to decide the last qualified team to 2023. There we are. Polito, Camilo, Barto, Nachi Duplessis, what a team. They won Tortugas. They lost in the semis in Hurlingham. There is a final, but they play against a great team today. We had an amazing game of polo, but La Dolfina was amazing. In defense, in attack.
Y Polito Pérez. Vamos todos a brindarle un fuerte aplauso al equipo finalista de la
And now,
Natividad. Muchas
a
gracias,
standing
Nachi,
ovation
Barto,
for La
Pepe,
Natividad,
Polito.
runners-up for the Argentine
Muchas gracias por
Open,
todo,
winners
chicos.
of Tortugas, winners in 2021 for sure. They will be one of the contenders next year.
Vamos a pedir al equipo de la Dolfina que se ponga en el centro del podio. Adolfito, más para acá, muy bien. Al equipo ganador La Dolfina entrega el vicepresidente de la Asociación Argentina de Polo, señor Carlos Menéndez Betti.
And now, Vice President of the AAP, Carlos Menéndez Betti, will be presenting the replicas to the winners. There he is, Carlos Menéndez Betti,
Adolfo Cambiaso hijo.
from the club La Araucaria in Lobos. Vice President of the AAP, Adolfo Pelón,
Y a Juan Martín
Poroto,
Nero.
and Juan Martín Nero.
Antes de entregar la copa principal y después de la foto con el vicepresidente de la asociación, vamos a pedirles a los jugadores de la Dolfina que se den vuelta por la camiseta que se acaban de poner por los 15 títulos que tiene la Dolfina. Adolfito,
So now they are asking for the players to turn around to show the jersey they are now wearing for the 15 titles by La Dolfina in their history in Palermo.
Ahora sí, el presidente de la Asociación Argentina de Polo, junto al señor Marota, van a hacer entrega de la Copa del 129 argentino.
And now the moment to present the trophy to the winners.
Adolfo Cambiaso hijo.
To Adolfo Cambiaso for the 18th time he's in this situation of lifting the most coveted trophy in the world. The Argentine Open Championship. There he is, Adolfo. Look how happy he is. He's gonna be in the middle of the picture alongside Poroto, Pelon, Juanma, and there they are. La Dolfina are the winners of the Argentine Open for the 15th time ever. 2 years after the last title back in 2020 when they beat the Dolfina, they came back to Palermo as favorites. They beat title holders La Natividad. And now is a moment for celebration. Wow, what a moment for them. The champagne, of course, taking over the stage. And little by little, we're starting to say goodbye to all the people who've been tuning us from around the world during this Argentine Triple Crown. We started in the end of September with the beginning of the Tortugas Open until this moment when we have reached the final of the Argentine Open on a historical day for Polo, for La Dolfina, for Adolfo. 39 years after the last time father and son won the Open, the history is in the making with these guys. Poroto for sure will become the youngest ever to reach 10 golders in Argentina next week. He is already become. He has already become the youngest ever to win the Argentine Open, and here they are for Adolfo, 47 years old, 18 titles in Palermo, the third one in history. David Paradise there also joining the picture, José Aldanondo, Mia Cambiaso, Mila. Adolfo Cambiaso Sr. also joining the stage. They are calling for Pedrinho Zacarias, who played 2 matches for La Dolfina in this competition. They are calling for Pedrinho, who was on the other side of the fence, actually. And Pedrinho Zacarias is also receiving a replica for having played 2 matches, replacing Pelon Sterling. There he is. How important is this for Brazilian polo? 3 years ago, Rodrigo Andrade entered the team. Look, David Sterling Sr. there. All the people there of La Dolfina. It's a moment for celebration for all of them. David Paradise there, who won the Jockey Club Open with Poroto, Camilo, Barto early this year. Adolfo, he is calling for Amer Sedan, patron of Saudi Polo, president of the Saudi Polo Federation, who is supporting the team, and they are calling out for him. There he is, Amer Sedan. What a moment for him. I think he's the first. This might be his first time in Argentina. I don't remember watching him before. So La Dolfina Saudi, again, Amer supporting La Dolfina, and what a moment for him to be there, celebrating the win. They are calling now for Milo, who is not very friend to these things. And now we're starting to say goodbye. I want to thank everybody for having joined us during this Triple Crown. I also want to thank my colleagues and friends, Toby, Carl, Darwin, John Kent, everybody who called the game in English. They've been so supportive and friendly with me during these seasons. It's been a pleasure. And on behalf, of course, of the AAP Live Production, ESPN, Star Plus, and everybody at the AAP, my name is Andres Ugarte. It's been an enormous pleasure for me. Thank you very much. Hopefully to see you next year. But till then, thanks a lot and have a very, very good afternoon. Bye-bye.